All right, what's going on, y'all? All right, so I'm here to talk about my college situation. About that more, a little bit more about that. I did talk about Frostburg University. I had a full scholarship to Frostburg University for 2 semesters. They did about a semester, so it was like if you did good the first 2 semesters, they will open up more of the scholarship for you. And you can also, like with the scholarships that I had, I could also apply for financial aid and get more money. So that was even like, I got awarded money for school that could pay for the schooling for 2 semesters, and I could apply for FAFSA and got the grant, so I could have had more money. So I just didn't know about FAFSA at that time. So I'm thinking like, you know, I didn't know that I could have, had a full scholarship plus money and shit. Like I didn't know if I'd had somebody to help me. I didn't have anybody to help me. Like I said, I told my family briefly. I told them. Actually, I didn't tell them briefly. I went off about it. I just didn't have the papers to prove that I had the scholarship. But it said it on there. I looked at it, read it. It had the money on there and stuff. Something double digit $1,000. It was double digit $1,000. Wasn't one digit. It was double digit. Something like that. Probably like I forgot. It was a double digit number. Thousands of dollars awarded for me for the scholarship. 2 semesters. That's what I remember. 2 semesters. Um, and I was like, oh snap! I got accepted into Frostburg. You've been accepted into Frostburg University. I was happy as I was happy as yeah. Somehow I got accepted. I got accepted to Frostburg University. I knew I wasn't. Yeah. I was happy as shit. Like was going to Walbrook. Went to Walbrook High School. Got the scholarship. Happy as ever, man. I would say that it was my grades for like physics and chemistry and stuff like that. I had high grades in chemistry and physics and things like that. I had high grades in certain kinds of classes. Excuse me, high grades in certain kinds of classes and stuff like that. Um, I never was really that good in math, and that was pretty much it. And American history, I really could care less about American history. Like, who really cares about the Renaissance and shit, the Boston Tea Party? But you paying attention, but you're not. Soon as in 1600, and then like fall straight to sleep as soon as you said 1600s. And anyway, but it was hard to pay attention in American history class or whatever. Um, and math was difficult. Always was difficult for me because I was always bouncing from school to school to school when I was young, and I could never stay in one. I can never stay in one school long enough to learn what I needed to learn to get to the next stage. So it was stumping me. So I ended up being stumped on fractions, and being stumped on fractions made me end up being stumped on all the other parts of math. So I'm like in fifth grade trying to do something else, but I don't even know fractions. I'm like, you don't know fractions? Like, no, I ain't never do fractions before. How you never do? I don't know. In my last school, I didn't. Like, how many schools you been to? Teach like I've been to this school, this school, this school, and then with my father got in a relationship with this lady named Miss Joy. Now I'm at Owens Mills Elementary School. Then I went from Owens Mills Elementary School to Johnny Cake, and I don't know. So I'm like, we wouldn't do this. Like you don't know fractions. That was crazy. So I kept bouncing from school to school, and the curriculum was always either a little ahead. It was always a little ahead. I was never able to keep up. So whenever I would get enrolled in a new school, they would ask me, "Do I know this?" I'm like, "Nah, I don't know that. We didn't learn that yet." So I had to go to Sylvan Learning Center, and Sylvan Learning Center was in middle school. I was in sixth grade. I was going to Garrison Middle School up Garrison. Okay. I went to Garrison for sixth grade, and I was in the Sylvan Learning Center, and that's where we started doing spoon fights and pencil fights. Um, First came out, and but still, I forgot what my teacher name was, Miss Powell or something like that. I forgot her name, and she was a white lady. She was my homeroom teacher, and she was in love with the next door teacher, had locks. I forgot his name, Miss Powell or something. I was like, they always together. Anyway, um, but Sylvan Learning Center was like downstairs somewhere, and then you go in there. I got my David Robinson basketball. Like you always participating, you always answering questions, and you're not sitting still. You're just really trying to learn. but you accumulate points, and then when the points that you accumulate, you get a prize at the end of the tutoring or whatever. And the top prize was the basketball. I'm like, man, that basketball on the top of that thing, I'm going for it. I'm going for the David Robinson signature basketball. It's day one, no points. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. Learning fractions at the same time and stuff. Um, you had the wood cutting class. You had to learn how to make stuff. Like you had to learn how to cut wood and stuff like that on a machine using a saw. I had to learn how to cut wood. Make your name and bubble letters. You gotta draw it yourself in bubble letters. Then you gotta cut it out. That it was all. They had a money machine moment in the cafeteria, like money machine. Like you can get in the money machine, grab as much money you want. I don't know if I know everybody had to remember that. Like if you went to Garrison, the same year we went, first downs was still, everybody was still rocking first downs. You know, it's the sixth grade. Had to be like had to be like I was in ninth grade 98, 98, 99. So dang. Or like 94, 95. Around like 94, 95. Sixth grade. Had the money. They had just came out with the number. They stopped doing lunch tickets. They just stopped doing lunch tickets. Now you got to put your 4-digit number in the computer system to get lunch. So if you get public lunch, we always was on food stamps my whole life. So I don't know. That's why it's like brand new to me. I be just watching how people be feeling about food stamps. Like, a nigga, I've been on food stamps and public assistance my whole life. As I've been going through school, elementary, middle, I always had public lunch. I mean, I was in second grade, public lunch, nigga, because we don't got no money and shit. We poor, so you get government lunch, government cheese. Like people don't be knowing nothing about. Like you ask somebody that's just popping up in America, like, yeah, man, that government cheese. What you mean government cheese? Yeah, the government would, man, get the fuck out. You can't talk. So they just looking at it like you're privileged or you're spoiled or some shit. Like, bitch, fuck out of here. You don't know what we've been through to be feeling like we spoiled to have food stamps. I always been on fucking food stamps, public assistance and stuff on school. So you get since elementary school, man, all the way through school, I've been on public assistance. Never been on nothing else. And then bus tickets, I keep saying it, yo, like bus, all that, yo. It's not for these brand new people to be popping up, feeling kinds of ways. Like you wasn't even here in America back in the 90s for you to like know what the fuck was going on. You here now all of a sudden and you see shit going on. It's not even the same as it was back then. Wasn't no social media, nothing. It's like, yo, it's not the same at all. We even like, yo, it's different. Water was always free and shit, my nigga. Like water always free. You go outside and play, always a water fountain with free water, my nigga. Is never cut off. Never cut your water off. Like now people want to be cutting water off and shit. Like disrespectful. Like, bitch, I always been free water, my nigga. Like, I'm never gonna feel different. I go in there and take a bottle of water, nigga. Like, you charging $2 and $3 for bottles, my nigga. That's all you doing, charging people for bottles. You not charging people for water, you charging them for bottle. Like, how much does bottle cost and shit? $3-something. That's all you charging for a bottle, nigga. Water always, if you've been in America since the 80s and 90s and 70s, early like that, like water was always free. If you was there early in that, you had colored water and white water. So you get the pissy water or the colored. Well, now they want to try to do that MAGA shit and make niggas drink the pissy water. I'm like, man, fuck you, man. I'll just straight take water out the store, my nigga. Straight take water out the store, my nigga. It's just water, my nigga. Like, y'all different with it. So anyway, our water was always free. Always at a park or any park you can go to, water was always free back in the day. I don't care what state you in, where you at, always water became free because then they stopped that whole colored versus white shit, and so it became where everybody drink the same water. So yeah, water was good too, my nigga. Drink it straight out, coming out. The water fountain was broke one time. Somebody came up and broke the fucking water fountain. And so the water was still coming up from the ground. So we had like, damn, the water's coming out straight out the ground, my nigga. The water fountain broke. We drank it straight coming out the ground, my nigga, because it was bubbling up. We're drinking straight out the ground. Like, that's still good, my nigga. Still good. Yeah, still good. Use your hands. Still good, my nigga. Like, oh, it's still good. Then they had ended up having to fix it and shit. And fixed it or whatever. Anyway. Any park, Drew Hill, this park, that park, any park you go to in Baltimore had free water. So sorry about that. Um, Start over. So any park you went to had free water, man. And then when so middle school, public assistant. I mean, public, you get free lunch, whatever the case, government assistant lunch and stuff like that. Always, yo. We never had money. You had some people that had money, their families had money, and they had jobs and stuff like that, to where they didn't get stamps and stuff like that, or they couldn't put their children on, school lunch because they made enough money to take care of their children and stuff like that. So then they would bring lunches to school. So if you didn't see that many people bringing their own lunches to school, everybody you saw, like, yeah, it's lunchtime. Nobody got their own bags of lunch. You get the public lunch. Now, if you had like a little job or you start selling drugs in high school and stuff like that, or whatever, I had a little job, so I start making money, so I could go to lunch, right, and get a lunch, and at the same time in the lunch area, it's like you go through the doors like this little U or whatever. It's like a U. You go around, see what you want. You had a small little choices and shit. In high school, you got more choices to pick from. You do? Oh, you more choices and shit? Go to high school. Oh, you do got little choices, but not really. But yeah, you got more choices. You can choose this or you can choose that. Then you get around, get your juice, and get around, and you got to put your 4-digit number in, tap, 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 and then pay for the lunch. All right, you good or whatever, and then you go through. Now, if you had like extra money, by the time you get to the register, you can pay for like Linden's cookies or some kind of juice or something like that. You can pay for extra stuff, something like a vending machine, but you can pay for extra stuff that you got to pay money for. So I was doing stuff like that, you know, or what people was doing was at lunchtime. At lunchtime, you was able to leave the school and you can go to Lake Trout, or you go to China Garden, or you can go around to the Chinese corner store right there, get a Fago. They didn't have Fagos back then. It was something else. But then Fagos became, or was it Fago still? I forgot. We had different kinds of juices, my nigga, different kinds of juices and sodas, but you always get your juice right. I think it was Fago. Go get your Fago for $1, my nigga. Big giant 24 ounce for $1. Oh, so you got a slug, my nigga? No taxes, just straight slug. You got a slug? Yeah, let me get a slug off you, yo. Yeah, here you go. Go get me a Fago, 24 ounce blue Fago, my nigga. Give me a blue Fago for $1. Give me like a, whatever, man. Get some a zebra cake. You know what I'm saying? For 25 cents, you just chiming off in there, or you just go to the Lake Trout or China Garden. I'm about to give me a chicken box, my nigga. About to get a chicken box. Hey, or you about to go to China Garden? Yeah, I'm about to get me some beef and broccoli, fried rice and some fried 4 wings of fried rice, my nigga. 4 wings of fried rice or a chicken box with potato wedges, or you just got the chicken box with the special fries. Or if you didn't have that much money, you just had a slug. You be like, let me get special fries. Actually, special fries was like $1 and something because you got the special sauce on that. Let me get the special fries. You just say special fries. Let me get the special fries. Special fries make. Let me get the fries with the special sauce that you got on that. Or you just get the regular fries with salt and pepper. You got to put your own stuff on it, salt, pepper, ketchup and stuff in the back, But you get the fries or you get the special fries. You get a cheesesteak sub for $5 even. A cheesesteak sub for $5, my nigga. Get a cheesesteak sub, everything extra hot, and then you get a special fry on the side. Or you go over there and get some potato wedges and some potato wedges and 4 wings of potato wedges. I would just get a chicken box with regular fries, but I started getting a chicken box with potato wedges because it's more, Greg. Like, yo, they fill you up more. The potato wedge, like, you right, yo. Let me get 4 wings. Let me get chicken box with potato wedges. Let me get chicken box. Salt, pepper, ketchup. Chicken box, salt, pepper, ketchup. Already in a box, and you can put extra salt, pepper, ketchup in there if you want on the side. Yeah, that was lunch. If you had money, you get lunch. Even at school, like if you still hungry at school, you just go over there. But we play basketball a lot, so we'll hoop. Then come up to the Lake Trout and like, let me get a cheesesteak sub, everything extra hot. I say, let me get a cheesesteak sub, everything no onions, extra hot. I ain't like onions back then, so I said everything no onions, extra hot. But now I'll be like everything extra hot. Or like I used to be like, let me get a chicken box, salt, pepper, ketchup. You ain't had to say salt, pepper, ketchup in there though, but you just natural. Let me get a chicken box, salt, pepper, ketchup. I'm like, all right, that put it in there, then you can get extra in the back if it wasn't enough, or they just tell you the back, whatever. Or you get 4 wings of fried rice. I mean, 4 wings of fried rice, Let me get some beef and broccoli, fried rice and beef. Or just let me get some beef and broccoli. You just say, let me get some beef and broccoli. Beef and broccoli meant let me put some rice in my shit and some beef and broccoli. That's all. Like we had certain ways we said it, so that because there's a lot of students and stuff, so you had to order your stuff quick. So you got to be quick. Let me get a cheesesteak, everything. You gotta say it quick. Is one whole order cheesesteaks. Let me get a cheesesteak, everything extra hot. But we had cheesesteak sub. Let me get a cheesesteak sub, everything extra hot. Anyway, some people got different. Let me get everything no lettuce, everything no onions. Like we say, so you got to say everything first. Let me get a cheesesteak sub, everything no onion. It will say no, whatever. Let me get cheese up, everything on it. Cheesesteak, everything no onions, everything no lettuce, everything no tomatoes, extra hot, whatever. Anyway, this is the way you said. Anyway, but after that, that's just memories. It was good memories, man. Good food, good memories. It's all Chinese stores though. All Chinese stores. Wasn't no Spanish people in our city, my nigga. No Spanish people in none of my schools I went to. Just native Indians, black people, and you might have had a couple of African mixed blooded people that was mixed with native and stuff too. Blasians and stuff like that, man. We were all Blasians really, but he was even mixed with African or Hebrew or. So no, native. He's mostly natives though. Mostly natives. In Baltimore. And Baltimore is mostly natives, how you know, because Baltimore share the same airport as Washington D.C., where the White House is. So everybody know that people in Baltimore, Philly, and New York were mostly natives and stuff like that, and Hebrews and stuff, because it's right on the Atlantic coast of the transatlantic slave trade. So it was like everything started happening there, and so it was not hard to tell who was who and stuff. Still not. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, so that's how elementary school, middle school, high school. Always been on free lunch, which is government lunch. Always got government assistance. Always had government cheese. The government always was giving people stuff because it was just slaves here at first like that. You didn't have nobody else here, so it was more like we need to give back to the slaves and stuff. So it was for us because we didn't have shit. We had a lot of promises, but no follow throughs. And so they were just giving us free stuff, stuff that lasts 1,000 years. Government cheese still out. They still got government cheese. Now the government cheese they got now, it's still a big block, but it's in a box, still in the bag, still in the box, and it lasts you forever. My nigga, it still lasts you forever. Block cheese still lasts forever. Still hard to melt and shit. All that. Still the same government cheese. Government housing and stuff. Always been on housing assistance and all that type stuff. Now, new people that come into America with visas and green cards, there's so many of them in California. It's like they start feeling some kind of way and shit. But if you go to an area where it's like the East Coast, where like, cause they get off on the planes and they stay in California mostly. Like you coming from Asia, somewhere India, and you hop off the plane, the easiest place to go to is California, because all your people here. So you come to California, so it's like a melting pot and shit more. Like, man, this is stupid now. It's like, so then like you had people like Arnold Schwarzenegger as the governor, so it was different here. It's like this state is for foreigners and stuff. It's not for home natives and stuff. Even though the natives are still here, it's more like for foreigners. Now, if you go to start moving towards the East Coast, you're gonna see more natives and more Hebrews and stuff like that. The people that built the country up, people that been here from the beginning, you're gonna start seeing them running shit. And you're not gonna have that feeling. We're gonna be looking at your ass like you're stupid and shit. Well, what you say about? You're gonna look at you like you're dumb. That's why when you see Spanish people come to Baltimore to the East Coast, they be hush as shit. They still got the ability to know what you're doing at all times, but because there's a lot of them, but they don't have no authority like they do over here in California. They can't do something like take your concentra piss and employ one of their own Spanish people and shit and not employ you. They can't. They don't have the power to do that here because our people run the shit over there. Our people run it. Natives and Hebrews, you see us everywhere, my nigga. So if I come there and they do a piss test, you might see a Spanish lady there, but you're gonna see more Hebrew women or Caucasian women up in there. And so it's gonna be like, oh, you gonna that, you know what I'm saying? It's more fair and shit. It's more fair. It's not selective. Like I'm gonna only employ my people and shit, and then they end up pushing your people out. Now your people ain't got no fucking jobs. You sitting on the corner at Home Depot and shit, You went from helping these niggas at the Home Depot to now these niggas pushing you to the corner of Home Depot. And what you supposed to do? Go across the border and shit? I don't know. That's how they be acting like we got a border to go across and we can go to Mexico or some shit like we really was from there. But it's like they come here and then push us to the side. Like, the fuck? We don't got nowhere to go, nigga. You better calm down. We don't got nowhere to go. We been here the whole way and shit. We can't go to Mexico like just because you pushed your way up here. So anyway, I just something I'm still feeling about that. People be mad about the government. They think that we lazy. No, my nigga. Like, you can still have a job. Back in the day, we still would work or whatever, but you still be on public assistance because you don't make enough. Like, the pay wages and stuff was low for us, so you wasn't making enough. So if your family made just enough, you were like something special, like a nurse or registered nurse or something like that, or they were in the military or something like that, so they had a good amount of money. If you didn't have that much money, you was something decent, or you worked a small little job and you was on public assistance at the same time. Government assistance at the same time. So your children was on public, free lunch and stuff like that. Because you didn't make that much. My friend Greg, his mother always was working in a warehouse. She worked in a warehouse and she was getting nice with the DAP equipment and stuff. She was nice with it. She just kept learning as she was going. They used to train on the job back in the day. Like, back in the day, you didn't have to go to college. You graduate from high school and you do on the job training and you in there. So that when time passed, they start making you go to college and trade schools to learn. You had to go to school and get a degree. So by the time I graduated high school, Auntie Angel, she was mad at me. She was mad at me for trying to go to college. It was like she was a little late. That's all it was. She was just a little late, so her emotions was funny because she wasn't understanding what was going on in the world like that either. But she was just, she was still in the mindset of once you graduate high school, you can go to get a job and stuff, because that's all we ever knew. Get a job right at the high school, right? You get a job at high school. Graduate high school, get a little job here, I'd be good, But then when I graduated high school, we couldn't get a job. They was like, you need to go to college. You got to get a least associate degree or something like that, or a bachelor's degree. I'm like, what? Got to get a degree to get a job? Like, yeah, jobs now, you got to get, like, jobs now require you to get a degree as soon as I graduate high school. But when I was trying to tell Auntie Angel that, she wasn't believing me. Like, you don't need to get no degree, boy. You just got to get a job. Go over there and apply. Go put a word in and then walk up there and talk to the people. Like, she wasn't realizing that it was becoming less personal and becoming more impersonal, where back in the day, because we from the city, we can just talk to somebody and then it's who you know and then you can get in. It's still who you know, but it's more so your degrees more so now too, because you can get in the door, and then once you get in the door, you can start going to school while you're still in the door. So it depends where you at. But for me, it was different because I'm new. It wasn't like I've been around the block, or I'm just still new. I'm a youngin. So I went to Baltimore City Community College, tried to roll in school. And the Angel kicked me out the house. She was like, you can't stay in here. You go to college, can't stay in here. You can get a job and get some money. And then later on, like about a year or two after, she was working a job and she was like, yeah, you gotta go to school and get your degree. I'm like, she was trying to school me, like, you need to get your degree, and once you get your degree, you can get a better job, or you can get a job. And then she was trying to school me, but I was like, Auntie Angel, that's what I was trying to tell you. Like, I was trying to tell you that when I graduated high school, but you kicked me out the house and you didn't listen to my speech. I was trying to tell you, you got to get a degree now, or go to college now to get a degree to get a job now. And but she was like, like, what she was trying to tell me, you kicked me out the house and shit. Kicked me out the house when I was trying to tell you that. But I wouldn't even have tried to go to Baltimore City Community College because I had a full scholarship to Frostburg. But it was but family didn't listen to stuff like that back then. They didn't listen to stuff like that. It was like, you young, and it's like you're young, and just by you being young, by default, you are just ignorant and stupid. So you don't have anything to say because you don't know anything about life. So it was a thing about our people and stuff, like, is they're hard of hearing when it comes to younger people. So there's nothing, you never have anything to say to them. So whenever you're trying to say something, they don't want to hear you. It's like, just listen to what I gotta say, but you be trying to tell them, like, they be changing stuff up. So for us, it's like, Now they got laptops in school. Like, I need a laptop. I'm like, what you need a laptop for? I need a laptop to do my homework. Girl, we don't get a piece of paper and do your homework. So things change. The children be trying to tell their parents that they be changing shit, and the parents need to have an open ear to hear how the government is changing shit for the children. It's changing stuff, man. You gotta go to college and stuff. They not letting us get it. They wasn't listening. Aunt Angel wasn't listening to me. They didn't have social media and stuff like that either for her to like go online or figure that out some kind of way. She had figured it out herself, and ended up. I was like, man, I need a job, and she's like, you gotta get a. She was like, well, you need to get a degree. You gotta go to school, get a degree. I'm like, Aunt Angel, I was trying to tell you that and stuff. Like, I'm trying to tell you that when I was 18 years old, trying to tell you that. Like, you kicked me out the house and then trying to school me. I need to get a degree now. Like, what the hell? I could have stayed in the house and got the degree and shit. Could have stayed at Baltimore City Community College, did the 2 years, get the degree, and with the financial aid, we didn't know nothing like that at first. We start learning and stuff as we was going. Like, with the financial aid, you get money back with the financial aid. I could just give you the money for rent and whatever, the food and stuff like that. Give you the money, this, that, and the third, whatever, and then stay going to school. I didn't have to go nowhere for real. I didn't have to go nowhere. It was just a thing of like a grown man in my house not working that shit. But it's like, yeah, you need a college degree first though. I don't believe you. Get out my house. Kick me straight out. End up joining the military. End up joining the U.S. Navy because I didn't have family support. So you need to do something right away. So Aunt Angel kicked me. I went to Aunt Jill's house. Aunt Jill was like, well, you ain't no working in this house. Like, Aunt Jill was like, she don't want you to work until you go to school. Aunt Angel was like, you got to go to work or else I'm kicking you the fuck out. So it was two different types of aunts. So, but the thing was, I had a scholarship to Frostburg University that nobody knew how to help me with. I'm trying to tell them, Aunt Angel didn't care back in the day. She didn't care. She still only looked at it the same way Grandma looked at it, like, just get a job and shit. Cause you're from here, just get a job, But they changed and shit. So they didn't hear me. They didn't have ears for me. Aunt Jill, she was like, you got to go to school and stuff. I'm like, I had college papers to Frostburg, but I don't know. I need help. I need help trying to call the school. That's what I was trying to tell you when you was at 5713. And she at 1110 Lakeside Drive now. Like, as years later now, I done went to the military and came out trying to figure out how to go to Baltimore City Community College now. I tried right after the Frostburg, or like right after I lost my papers to Frostburg. I went out there and tried, like, yo, took Greg, yo, I'm trying to go to college, yo. I had a full scholarship to Frostburg and shit, yo, but nobody trying to help me. Like, your father, like, nobody trying to help me figure out how to retrieve my scholarship and go to Frostburg. Maybe nobody want to take me out there. Probably nobody want to take you out there, yo, out in the mountains where it's cold at. Probably nobody want to drive out there. Nobody got gas for that, yo. Trying to tell me something. Nobody got gas for that. Nobody want to go out there. I'm like, right, but we can find somebody. Yeah, so find somebody. Like, I don't have that movie life where, oh, it's time for college, dear. It's time for college. Parents got the car ready for you, the luggage ready. They drive out there on some happy stuff. The camera's looking all happy. You singing songs in the car and shit. You get up there, hug and kiss. And you have to be good. None of that. Then time for you to come home. They come and get you for it's time to come home and shit. None of that. I ain't had that special story. Yeah, my story was like, well, anybody want to drive your ass out there, boy? You better go sell some drugs or some shit. So it was that. But I did have a choice. I could have went to Frostburg University for full scholarship. I looked at it like any university was like any university, because when I looked in the catalog for Frostburg University, it was nice. The campus was looking nice on the pictures and stuff. I'm like, man, that looked nice, like a whole community or something like that. Looking at the dorms and stuff, looking at all that stuff, just how the whole scholarship, dorm, all I could have lived in a dorm, all that. And I was like, yeah, I'm in there. But nobody helped me get in there for real. Like, I'm in there, but I couldn't get to it. People holding me back. Well, it felt like that. I was mad, yo. I was mad because I didn't know what to do with my life after that. I didn't know what to do with myself after that. Everybody was just trying to make me do what they wanted me to do, or what they thought I should do. But I was trying to tell them I had a scholarship to Frostburg. I was going to take up Homeland Security. I already knew what I was going to do. Nobody want to listen to you don't want to listen to teenagers and shit. But teenagers be like, yo, I still got a plan for my life. This is what I want to do in my heart. I want to, nobody sat me down and was like, well, what do you want to do? And shit. They just was like, well, you just better get a job and shit. Like, man, you don't want to, the family don't want to listen. Don't listen to nobody no more. It's just like, you too young and shit. Letting no young person talk to me. Like, what the fuck? Like, crazy. Don't ever have children, because then they gonna like try to talk to you. You like, Just do what I say and shit. But your life was fucked up when you was growing up. You didn't make right choices at all and shit. You ain't make right choices at all. And then you grew up, learning tough, rough ways and shit. Had to go through shit 2 and 3 and 4 times to learn your lesson. This child right here, they learn one lesson. They learn one time. You go through something one time, and they learn that lesson. Y'all make 3 and 4 bad choices and stuff, and learn the hard way, and then be trying to school us on life, this and this and this and this. But this one child, they just like don't really go through many problems and stuff because they listen and pay attention and stuff. Like when I was in college, we had a college prep room. Now, if I'd have told my family and stuff like, yeah, the college prep teacher was like, this, do this, and do that, and do this, and then when I come and tell y'all be looking at me like I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm like, well, my college prep teacher said, like this, that, and third. So it's like, be stumping them and stuff. Like, where you getting this information from, or where you learn that from? Because like you're not supposed to learn something. You're too young to know any fucking thing and shit. But it's like if you listen to your elders everywhere you go, everything you say be stuff that elders said. And you be thinking that you just be out here loose like they was loose, not listening to anybody, and you just be saying any fucking thing out your own mind. When this whole time was like, nah, you always, they just need to know you the type of person that always listen to your elders. So whenever you say something, it's something that came from an older person's mouth. So it's like more wisdom and stuff. So that's what happens with the parents back then. They never think that you would listening to people or listening to your elders. They just think that you coming just like them, just out running the streets, doing whatever the fuck, not listening. I can do whatever I want to do. So when I say something, it's like that. Anyway, so nothing ever got done. It was more like looking at me like, whatever, just do what I say and shit. Get a job or else you can't stay here and shit. Like, they said I need a degree and shit. Who's they and shit? Like, man. And then you're still not old enough to really articulate or communicate your feelings that good, but you still listen to your elders and they tell you, do this, that, and the third. So you're still good enough to say what somebody told you. You're still well versed at telling you. You're still well versed at telling people what elder people tell you. You're still good at that, but you're not good at communicating your feelings. And then you learn how to do that when you get older. But I was still a teen. I was still 17, 18. Just graduated high school. My Frostburg papers got left on the street because I'm fighting this boy named Pusshead that want to come around the way and fight me and shit. And then he pulled the gun out of his car and tried to kill me and shit. Hopped on the bus, left my papers. I had 3 acceptance letters. 3 acceptance letters. I got accepted to 3 different colleges, not just Frostburg University. That's just the one I chose, my nigga. I could have went to Oral Roberts. I could have went to the Baptist Church. I could have went to 3 different colleges. Full scholarships. I just chose Frostburg. But when I was telling them, I just said, yeah, I got accepted to a college, Frostburg University, but how I'm supposed to look them up, And father on the computer, you got internet, the dial-up, you could use the dial-up to try to figure out something, but he wasn't doing it. He was just on there playing games and stuff, whatever, watching movies, or I just installed the DVD. Like, that's some fantastic stuff that you just installed your own computer. You built your own computer from scratch back then. That was it. You go out to Timonium to the computer show and get computer parts back in the day. It was not something that everybody was privy to, building a computer from scratch. So if they saw you at the Timonium computer fair or whatever computer show thing, they was like, hold on, like black people here and shit. They knew that you had to be smart or something because you grabbing up motherboards and you looking at the collection of motherboards over here. Like, this is interesting. Motherboards and shit. Just looking at the motherboards like, oh, this one is nice and shit. I'll take this one and shit. You collecting parts and shit. And then you go over, let me get this DVD and extension and shit. Like the DVD extension, I need a new floppy. I need another floppy drive extension and shit. Let me get over here and shit. You just grabbing up parts. Oh, let me get these extra memory chips and stuff. Give me like 3 memory cards. Let me get 3 memory cards, please. And like 3 of these. Yeah, these good. Yeah, these fresh. They not used and shit. This one used over here. Let me get the used one and shit. And let me get Let me get one used computer card and get 2 used computer. You got a graphics card? Let me get a graphics card over here. Get a graphics card. You know what I'm saying? You got a oh yeah, you got the new dial. Got a new dial-up card. Yeah, you got a dial-up card. Actually, take away that computer card, that used computer card. Let me get the dial-up. Because you got to use the, you know what I'm saying? Like, way you got to, like, stuff you're like, hold on. Yeah, because you got to need The memory card slots is the same as the dial-up phone slots and shit. So you only get like 4 or 5 slots. So you got already one slot, then you got to get 2 more, and then you get another one, and then you get one for the phone, all kind of stuff. And then you got, oh, I got a floppy drive. Oh, I got a couple more extensions. I can just add that to. I can add a CD drive. Instead of a CD drive, I'm gonna put a DVD/CD drive in there, and still keep the floppy drive in there. I'm gonna add one in there. So then you gotta punch a hole in the other slot of your computer, add that one in there and shit. Slide in there. Now you got a DVD drive and a floppy disk drive. This thing just kept advancing. Like, you didn't have flash drives and stuff yet, so it was like still in the beginning stages and stuff like that. Still was saving stuff on floppy disks and stuff. Or like the DVD drive was the same as the CD, so you could burn CDs and stuff like that. So we was using that. Get a used one. Now you got a brand new one because you ain't want the used one fucking up. When you want to burn a CD, you ain't want the used one fucking you up. So, get a new motherboard and shit that hold more cards and shit, more memory cards and stuff. So that's how it was. Computers was extra simple. Then you started needing fans and shit like that. Started getting real crazy because people like the game and stuff like that. So it started getting more crazy. But in the beginning stages, that's how it was. I was doing that, going out to Timonium. And so he built the whole computer from scratch. Got a monitor, and built the computer from scratch. Didn't have to program it yourself with the Windows 98. So he had the Windows 98. He still was using Windows 95. So he put the Windows 95 in there. He had even the Windows DOS 3.1. Windows 3.1, then he had Windows 95, then he had Windows 98. So he's still using the Windows 95. Put it in there, WIN /. Then it start programming and shit. Start uploading the system of Windows into the computer. Then you got a computer. Then you got you programmed it. You hit into the DOS, upload the program, Windows program, the CD that you got in there. It uploaded. Now it's on your system. Now that it's on your system, or whatever, you can just, every time you cut the computer on, you gotta put WIN / or however he might have changed it, WIN : / or something like that it was, or /. I forgot what it was that you program it. WIN something for the DOS, and then hit enter. Then you hit enter. Then you type in something else. Then all the stuff go up. Then they say, oh no, now loading Windows and shit. Then it shows you the load on the DOS screen. Then it comes on Windows 98 or Windows 95, and then you get on there, play some solitaire, play some Snake, play some Hearts, Minesweeper, all that. When they was playing that was everything back then. You didn't have too many games like that, but if you had internet, America Online, double click, you got mail. Everything was double click, man. It wasn't a one click. You had to double click everything. I remember when you first had to double click, so you was double clicking, moving the icon over here. Like, I'm struggling with this double click, man, trying to keep the mouse still, but the double click, like, like dang, all that. Put in a recycle bin, all kind of stuff, sound effects and stuff, all that. Used to just watch the save screen and shit, like going through the maze, like, oh man, is he ever gonna make it out the maze? My nigga just going left, right. Just watch it down, just mesmerized. Didn't have much with computers, man. When you start coming out, we didn't buy whole computers, put ours together from scratch. We never had a computer we bought. We would go to Timonium and buy computer parts and put the whole computer together. My nigga, put the whole computer together. And this is when computers first came out. So if I stuck to that, yeah. But I wanted to also do that in Frostburg University, because then you could do Homeland Security, and also I could do computer science. Because especially when it was like fresh, I knew everything about how to put a computer together. I used to be in high school, and the computer teacher would pull up me and Walter. It was my friend that played basketball, Walter. We used to play basketball together too. Me and Walter, he would call me and Walter out of class. And Gibson, Dwight, and Walter, I need you and Walter to help me change out the floppy drives in these computers in these classes and stuff. I'm like, okay, no problem. I'll put the community service learning hours on there so you don't get pinned a bad grade and stuff. You do it for community. So that's how I got my community service learning hours, and that's how I paid my class dues, by getting pulled out of class and then I would go. He'll just put me in whatever room. My computer put me in whatever. He was a black man too, a Hebrew. He was a Hebrew / Native Indian, so he was the one running the computer. Everything. All my teachers was black. I didn't have. I think the only teacher that I had was Caucasian. Was the English teacher. She was the only Caucasian teacher I had, Miss Heinrich. You know, everybody liked Miss Heinrich because she had a fat butt or whatever. But he was trying not to look at her fat butt, and you know, so it was like Miss Heinrich got a little donkey back there. What's going on, Miss Heinrich? Boy. That's when 9/11 first came out, and they hit the Twin Towers. I was in 11th grade. I was in 11th grade watching it on TV. She locks the doors, you know, looking at the TV. She crying, you know. Dang, Miss Heinrich crying. I've never seen Miss Heinrich cry before. She crying like crazy, like. And then she starts saying some sentimental stuff, like, Miss Heinrich, you all sentimental and stuff. I'm just saying, if anything happens to me. And she was going crazy. You know, she was young, but back then we was younger, so it didn't look like she was that young, you know. But she looked like she was about 20 something, you know, late 20s or something like that. Young, but yeah, she's teaching us stuff. She had a lot of patience with. She had a lot of patience with us. So she liked teaching black students and stuff, because she, you know, um, that's when I first met Jade in the 11th grade in Miss Heinrich class and shit. Anyway, but off that, 9/11 had happened in 11th grade. Yeah, so she was the, remember her. But all my teachers, you know, were black. So I was part of the FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America. And being part of the FBLA I was part of the word processing. Word processing was like the fullness of Microsoft Word. You had to know Microsoft Word. You had to know a little bit of Microsoft Excel. You had to know all of that stuff, at least a little bit of all of them to be in. You had to go to like a competition and all that stuff. Well, different schools had to go to the competition, man. I got fifth place. I got fifth place in typing. But out of all of the schools in the city, I got fifth place. And I think Dannon, he was nicer than me. But we was in there like, that is even me and Dannon. Shorty in that type. We used to challenge each other like, what? I used to challenge each other. So I got nice at typing just because of Dannon and shit. Me and Dannon, like, so in typing class. But we had to type on typewriters, the old school typewriters. So that meant we typed, had to go ching, move it to the side, bring it back, ching, ching. Like it felt good. It felt good to do that and shit. You always seen it on the movies. It felt good to do it and shit. Type and then move it back to the side. You mad and shit, like ching, ching. Keep swiping it back over and shit. Shit, it felt good. I ain't gonna lie, it felt good. And you had to like know how to replace the ribbon. You needed a ribbon, ink ribbon, how to replace that, even how to delete something if you made a mistake. Like that was hard to do because you had to like scroll it at the right level and stuff, and then be able to like backspace it, delete it and stuff, and then type over it. Then type over the deleted letter, the letter that you really wanted there. That was hard to do, but you had to learn how to do it. So learn how to type with a typewriter. So you couldn't make mistakes. You couldn't make mistakes like that on the typewriter. You had to be knowing how to type for real. And you really had to, hey, it was all that, man. It was nice. I got like a 95, 90 something. I got an A in that class. Nice with the typing. She was my typewriter teacher. She protected me a lot because she was like, "Are you nice to white? I don't want nothing to happen to me. No, nothing to happen to you. You my best student." Also because I was in like I said, the FBLA, the Future Business Leaders of America group. I was in that. That was something back then. It was like well known. FBLA was well known back then. And Microsoft Word, Microsoft Office was like, it was the only program they really had when computers was coming out. You have the WordPad, but you know, WordPad was WordPad. If you wasn't using WordPad in the beginning, you was like, then Microsoft Office came out. Like everybody was on it. You had to learn. It was the only program they had. Microsoft Office. You had to learn how to use Microsoft Word. They had to learn how to do all that stuff. I didn't know all of it right away, but I was learning. But the typing part was what I needed to know, so I had to do the typing part in a competition. So when it came up, Dwight Gibson, then they call you up, and then it's a room full of people from different schools, and you got to type. You just hear people going crazy. I'm like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? And they judge you on your correct words per minute, like how fast you're going and how correct everything is that you're doing and stuff. So you gotta, and then when you finish, I got fifth place. I was not the last person out of that room, so I was happy. Like, I ain't the last person out. I got fifth place. I got something, but I didn't get, like, I got fifth place. I was happy. Like, yeah, Dwight got fifth place. Warbrook, fifth place. I said, fifth place. There's a lot of people too, so it's fifth place, my nigga. It's probably about 20 something people. That was a lot of people, yo. Fifth place, my nigga. Nice. Like, Dwight, nice. Fifth place. It don't matter. You got fifth place. You get better, get better next year. You get nice next year. Come back in next year. So it was that. Yeah, man. High school. Dang. I forgot about all that, man. I used to sell cookies. I forgot what those cookies was called, but they was good. I used to sell cookies in the morning. I used to sell I used to sell mountain. I used to sell sodas in the morning. So everybody know me from selling sodas. I had a Washington Wizards bag, a basketball Washington Wizards duffel bag, whatever. I had a basketball bag for Washington Wizards, and I used to use that. But I ended up using it for selling sodas, so I would carry it to the Stop Shop and Save right there. It was still called Stop Shop and Save. It was at the Stop Shop and Save, right there at the junction. It's Save a Lot now. I used to go in there and Stop Shop and Save, grab some sodas and shit. Right there, as soon as you go in, we had like the Mountain Dews. Then you had the Mountain Dew Cold Ridge just came out. And then I would grab some Pepsis. Nobody, I would grab a case of all. It was like, I could. We was jamming off, man. I just put it like that. We was jamming off, selling them for $1. You get a 24. I think get 24 for $12, 24 for $12. So 24 for $12, and I would get a case of this. I think it was 12 of the case, 12 a case, 24 for $12, something like that. I forgot how it was, but whatever, I could make a profit, a $12 profit, and then or whatever, however many cases you get is however many the profit. So I could end up coming out with a $12 profit or a $24 profit, depending on how much I want to carry, how much I can carry. So I would get a case of Pepsi, get a case of Mountain Dew, and a case of Cold Red. So that's 36. So I would take that home. That's as much as I can carry. I would take that. And I lived up Fairway Ridge. I had to carry that up the hill, my nigga. Carry that up the hill every day. Carry it up the hill. Go up the hill. Put all those sodas, put them in the refrigerator and the freezer. Like, everybody love the Cold Red. So I would put the Cold Reds in the freezer. And then I forgot how I was doing it, because I don't know how I was fitting. We didn't have nothing in our fridge in order for me to fit those sodas in there. Like, you ain't got no food. Like, got no food in the house. Put everything in the fridge anyway. But put the Cold Reds in there, and I would do it before I go to sleep. Put them in there, come out. I didn't sell all of them right the same day. I still had some left over. Then I would put the next batch in there. So that's how it was. And then whenever I would run out, I would go back to the store. I'll wait till I sell all my product, and then I go back to the store. Like, yeah, it would take me like 2 days, 2 to 3 days to sell all of it. But I have whole bags full of sodas, my nigga. Just come to school with Cold Reds, Mountain Dew, Cold Reds, regular Mountain Dews, and then the Pepsis, a couple Pepsis, because people ain't really like the Pepsis like that. So I stopped getting Pepsis. I just get Cold Reds and Mountain Dews. But just in case somebody did want a Pepsi, I would get one case of Pepsi. So I was just like that. And then 24-ounce sodas for $1. That was you never got a 24-ounce soda for $1 that was like Mountain Dew or Pepsi. Like, they was like, what? You only could get a Faygo for $1. I was like, fuck that. I'm the Dwight selling Mountain Dews for $1, my nigga. You don't need to get a Faygo. So while you eat your cookies, or whatever, they sell the cookies. You can get some cookies, and then we like Dwight right here. They're like, Dwight, where you at? Let me get that Cold Red off you. Everybody knew who I was for the sodas, my nigga. Dwight got them Cold Reds. The whole football team, the whole basketball team. That's Jay boyfriend. Like, they selling them Cold Reds, like, piling, bum rushing you for them Cold Reds, my nigga. Ain't have enough though. It was me and my other homeboy. He had selling them too, so we was run out in like about 10 minutes. Run out, my niggas, run out. Like, I ain't got no more. Gotta come back tomorrow. Like, come on, the White ain't got no more. Like, y'all, I got carry this by myself, so I don't got that much. So I don't know, like, yo, bring more Cold Reds. Like, all right, I'll just get more Cold Reds and regular Mountain Dews. But if they didn't have that, I'd just get what I, like, just got Pepsis, my niggas. So it was that. So, yeah, man, it's jamming off. Bags start to rip and bust. people was trying to sneak the Cool, like that Cool Riz coming out the hole on the side. Somebody tried to grab it, like, nah, shorty, give me that, thank you. Like, try to take it from me. But they liked it because I put them in the freezer and they be slushy by the time I get to school. They be slushy. They like, oh, they slushy too? They like, yo, the white, oh, come on, yo. The whites be slushy, my nigga. You get this, what? Slushy? The slushy Cold Riz, the white, oh my god! You know, like I was known for selling the Mountain Dew Cold Riz slushy ones. The Cold Riz just came out too. Mountain Dew Cold Riz just came out. You get the slushy ones on it. The slushy ones, all of them. The regular Mountain Dews that wasn't slushy. The Pepsis they wasn't slushy. I put them in the refrigerator. The Cold Riz I put in the freezer. So when I get to school, they be slushy. Like, oh, got the Cold Riz a slushy, boy. Them Cold Riz be slushy though, the white. Them Cold Riz be slushy though. I give you that. They be slushy though. You got that. You got that. You got that. Got respect this off of the slushy Cold Riz. And they be like, no, I ain't going nowhere. Let me get another one. Let me get another one and shit. Like, I'm all out, yo. I'm all like, damn. That Cold here get 2 of them tomorrow. They be trying to place orders and shit. Like, we get 2 of them. Like, it's first come, first serve. And nigga, like, I'll be right here every day the same time before homeroom. And nigga, before homeroom, you gotta be right here. They be like, all right, you right here before homeroom. Right, meet me right here by the lockers. The same lockers, man, nigga. Right here where they selling the cookies at. I was like, oh yeah, second floor, right by the cookies, right to the right. So selling them like, the empty bag, walk away with the empty bag, like, man, the white, like, I'm all out. Fuck out of here, yo. Like, you need more, yo. I need more arms for that. Then get some more arms there, my nigga. Like, they be mad, they be mad. But anyway, so that's how I started when I didn't have a job. Then I ended up getting a regular job, worked at the Orioles Camden Yard Stadium. I was always hustling, yo. I was hustling different ways, but I was hustling, man. Like, you was stabbing them Cold Riz, boy. Stabbing them Cold Riz. Like, yeah, yo, you gotta sell drugs, yo. You just sell some sodas, my nigga. Sell something. Like hustling. Making money. Oh, you making, making money, my nigga. Making money, my nigga. And they're getting it. I just need more arms. So it's just, anyways, but, yeah, man. I was really trying to talk about Baltimore City Community College, but I talked about my whole school adventure or whatever. When I was 12, it was the first time I played on a basketball team. I played for Adrico. First time I played on a basketball team at 12 years old. I wasn't nice like that, but I could dribble, so I played the one guard. It was one other guy, like, that his parents was training him. We wasn't nice like how you see the children is today, doing all kinds of pro moves. Like, wasn't doing all that. We was not doing all that. But you had players that knew how to dribble. They knew how to play and stuff. That parents trained them. Me, I didn't get training. I just picked up a basketball and was in the basement. We was living at Walden Oak. It was, the Walden apartments. We was living at Walden Oak. That's Walden Oak Court. That's where we lived, Walden Oak. So it's like, soon as you come into Walden Apartments, you go. It's right up there. Same apartments that my aunt Rhea lived at, but she lived there when, like, after they used up now. It's not the same. But when they first came out, we moved there. When they first came out, I was 12 years old. So when you drive up in there, you drive left, and then you go to Walden Oak. And we caught the rainbow bus. We caught the yellow bus, but it was the rainbow bus, and we went to Johnny Cake up the street around the corner. And I would say, what did I say? Oh yeah, I played basketball there. Me and Glenn played baseball mostly. So I played baseball for Adrico. Then when the basketball season came around, I played basketball for Adrico. So we would always be at Woodlawn Middle School playing up Woodlawn Middle School. But we was 12 years old. I didn't go to Woodlawn Middle, but we played up there. Then I wasn't nice, but I was all right. I was all right. Like, for 12 years old, I was all right. And I was better than a lot of my players, but I played the one guard. You had the one guard that was nice, Shorty. He was nice. He was the starter. Then I was the one guard for the substitute. But I can bring the ball down. I really didn't get stripped, but I could only dribble with my right hand. I could only, like, come up the court with my right hand. I wasn't nice on my left hand at all. So I always go to the right. I never go to the left because they always could predict and going to the right, never go to the left. But when it came to passing the ball, I wasn't good at passing the ball like that. Well, I was getting good at passing the ball, but I wasn't good. Yeah, it was my first time playing like under the whistle on the basketball court with players and stuff and jerseys. It was the first time. Like, dang, it's different than just dribbling and stuff and shooting the ball. So it's different. You start getting knowledge of of actually playing under the whistle. You start actually learning and stuff, fundamentals and stuff. And then the whistle, the skill, you start feeling it and shit. The referee and all that did. So I think that was the whole the above the rim part when Tupac was like at the basketball game, you know, and the other guy, he is supposed to be Dwight Raynard Gibson Sr. The older guy, he's older than Pac, but Pac is still trying to be at the basketball game. But I was 12 years old and had to play a real official game, Madrigo. I think I probably scored a couple times, shot the ball a couple times, shoot it. I got a fast break, got nice. Passed me the ball. It was a fast break. Passed it to me. I bring it down the court. Oh, fast break, make it. It was like, oh, he made it, fast break. Hit that easy right layup, shorty. Like, okay, yeah, he's scoring and shit. He's scoring. I was scoring and stuff. I was scoring. I was scared though. I was scared. I didn't really know how to lay up, because I never really played basketball at 12 years. I just knew how to dribble the ball because I would sit in the basement. I would be in the basement and just dribble between my legs. I was just learning how to put the ball between my legs. But I kept doing it and kept at it so much the way it started becoming nice, where I could walk it and stuff. Like, you can walk it. Like, if you can walk the ball at 12 years old, that was an amazing thing for the older people to see. Like, you walking it at 12, my nigga. Like, you doing, boy? You walking the ball? You walking down the street, walking the ball between his legs, like he nice or something. Like, that was amazing to see. Like, and one, we started getting more amazing and amazing as we was going. But back in the 90s, it was amazing to see a 12-year-old walking the ball down the street. Is he doing? He nice already. We'll put him on the basketball team. On the basketball team, start learning how to dribble and stuff. I still was struggling trying to keep the ball. I would lose the ball sometimes, but I was just starting, and I shot from the shoulder, like shot from the shoulder or shot from the chest. Yeah, I shot from the chest back then, so I was still young. Shot from the chest. I didn't jump, just shoot from the chest. You know, but yeah. I shot a 3-pointer, made a 3-pointer once. Well, I shot it from the behind the key. It was air ball, was kind of far, but then I did it again and made it. Then I made a layup. Then the short jumpers was easy to make. I was able to reach the goal. I was like, it's not beyond your range. Go into your range. Like, I want to get the ball. Like, just trying to shoot it for real. So it was hard. It was hard to get it opening because so many people on the court. You really had to really be quick. As soon as you get the ball, you got to be quick and you got to be really scared. You got to have IQ for real to be on the court, getting through people and stuff. 5 people, 10 people on the court. It's got to have IQ to get through all that. So I started learning how to, like, started seeing the court better. Started learning first time for everything. Like, okay, if I move up here, if I do this, I do that. You got to read the people too, or they always move like this. You got to be reading people and reading the court and all. You got to know who you playing and stuff. It's crazy. We played for, my team was the Rockets. So we was called the Rockets, like the Houston Rockets. All jerseys look like the Houston Rockets. Like, yeah, like, it's cool. The Rockets, do the Rockets and stuff. I think, who was on the Rockets when they first started? I think Juan Dixon was on the Rockets when they first started. Or was it Juan Dixon, or was it Steve Francis was on the Rockets when he first started, I believe. I forget, correct me if I'm wrong, forget, man. For Steve Francis, then Juan Dixon. I know Steve Francis came out first, then Juan Dixon came out from Maryland. So I was happy, like, I don't care, give me that. Steve Francis, bro. This Steve Francis out. This gonna be Steve Francis out here, boy. Anyway, so I'm out there just playing, shorty. I didn't know Greg yet. I didn't have no. I didn't. It was just me and Glenn, but Glenn didn't play basketball. He didn't play on my team. Oh, he did play. We didn't play on my team. He was younger than me, so he played for a younger team. I was 12. I played for the 12 and the 10 and 12 or something like that, or 12 or something. It was different ages. So Glenn was on a different team. Something I forgot what his team was. He played, and then I played. So like it was always like you got a game coming up. Like it felt good to even say that. It felt good to even say like, yo, I got a game. I got a game coming up, yo. You gotta be there at 7 p.m. I got a game coming up. Go to school. Got a game coming up. Tell a little girl like Danielle come up to the house. Brian still was around and stuff like. Like who's Danielle and shit. Like Danielle was like, well, I got a game, 7 p.m. But Brian gonna say something and shit if you see you, oh, you got a game, you gonna be at the game? Like, I trying to talk to girls and stuff for the first time and stuff. But if Brian never told Brian, I still was talking to Danielle and stuff on the side. He probably slap the shit out me if you see me today for some old shit. Anyway, but yeah, man. Used to play games late at night. Play up there, me and Glenn hooping. And then the baseball, we was nicer with the baseball. Me and Glenn was nicer with the baseball stuff. We was like Matt. Glenn was better at hitting the ball, so I ain't gonna lie. He was better at hitting the ball. He was good at connecting. But I don't care what kind of pitch you throwing down there, you gonna hit that out the park. But I started becoming the same way. But I was better than Glenn in outfield work. I was better than Glenn. I would say we were still a match, actually. I say we were still a match, but he was better at hitting the ball. So his IQ at baseball was better than mine. I was catching up though. I was getting nice though. But we played for the same team on that. I was always the catcher. And then I played. Yeah, I played the catcher one time. I think that was the only catcher. And then Dorian played for our team one time. Andrea, Wayne and Dorian and Carlise and them. When Dorian played for Edrico, he played on my team one time. Like, it's the only time I seen Dorian again. Like, I ain't seen you since I was 8 years old, boy. Like, yeah, we on the same team. Me, Glenn, and Dorian on the same team. Like, Edrico playing baseball right there at Woodlawn. Edrico was the team, shorty. Edrico was everybody. The Edrico was like the company, like so everybody had Edrico jerseys, but it was different teams and stuff and different schools and stuff like that. It's like just a county company, like BNBL or something like that. Not nice with BNBL that back then. I could have been nice with BNBL if I stuck with it, but I didn't. So those are my basketball games and my baseball games. More so, I had more baseball games than basketball games. Played basketball one time. I wanted to play basketball every year, but I didn't. I played baseball. I could have went in the MLB, but I got ran over by a car. So my spine was fucked up, so I couldn't, you know. So my shoulders were always slip out of the rotator cuff or something like that. So when I got ran over, it fucked my shoulders up. But people love to still act like, oh, just lift some weights and shit, and it'll be good. People love to keep acting like you good and shit. But if you was there when I got ran over by a car, you'd have been like, oh no, he not good and shit. You'd have been saying all kind of stuff. But you looking at me walking okay, you're like, oh, he good. No, I just got a good poker face, Don't want to be showing I got pain and stuff like that. You're trying to still be a man at the same time. So it looks like something. Of course, if I'm a man, I'm not going to show my pain and shit like that. I'm going to walk with my pain and shit. And just try to, like, once I get a moment to sit down, I'm like, oh, whew, that feel good. But I'm still got a poker face on. You like, oh, he look like he hard and shit. Right, I'm just holding my pain in and shit. Like men do, right? So when you see a man stop, you got to analyze better. You got to analyze more deeply and shit. He could be in pain, but he holding it. Anyway, yeah, so even that. So 12, 13, once I ran over by a car at 13, then I went to Walbrook. My first year at Walbrook, ninth grade, I made varsity, the baseball team. I just got ran over by a car too, like still in pain like crazy. Ran over by a car. Made varsity because I was nice with baseball. I played baseball all the time. I was nice with baseball. I wanted to play basketball though. But like I said, it was between, Dwight and Pac. Pac wanted me to play basketball. Dwight wanted me to play baseball. So stuck between the two. I was better at baseball than basketball, but I love basketball more than baseball. It's crazy, yo. A lot of things got to be like that, taking people's children and shit like that. It's crazy. That shit don't feel good because if you find something out like that later, yo, you gonna start like despising people and shit. Like, why do I even do that and shit? That's disrespectful. Like, people don't grow up. People don't like. That's crazy. Anyway, Um, yeah, so I played varsity at Walbrook. We was like the least best team. Like we was like way on the bottom. Walbrook was like way on the bottom as far as like all the schools that was nice. We was like at the bottom, my nigga, but we still had good players and stuff like that. We rarely won any games. But we won some, but we rarely won any games. Then they got rid of JV and just had varsity. Then we started winning games and shit. Cause they took they realized some of the players on JV was nice, like varsity. So they put us just had one team, varsity. So the people that was on JV, they got pushed off. Like they were like, "Yo, Dwight, nice." Pushed me right up to varsity. But we didn't know that they was getting rid of the JV. Like we get rid of JV after they bumped everybody up to varsity. Oh, well, not everybody, but certain people, like a few people got pushed up to varsity. Probably like 3 people. I was one of those 3 people got pushed up to varsity from JV because I was 14. So you got pushed up. It's your skill level. 3 people got pushed up. Me, another guy, and my homeboy. And she always wear the fronts and stuff. He always had some fronts in his teeth. He was the one who told me that Jay hopped in the car with bottles in them. He used to always look out for me and shit. And played on varsity and shit. Then Jay used to come up there to my varsity games with this little ass mini skirt. I'm like, oh, I should not have bought you that mini skirt. I should not have bought you that. Like, I won't wear that around everybody and shit. Like, it was making me mad. It was distracting me. It was making me not play good and shit. Like, you want to be behind the whole team and shit. Like, come on, girl. Like, damn. Fucking me up early and shit. Not faithful early and shit. See something pretty and just try and get it and shit. Like, I want the white gonna get his check soon. I'm gonna get a fresh pair of shoes and shit. So you wanna find somebody else you can fuck and shit at the same time and shit. It was crazy, yo. So anyway, always in the hall talking to Pharaoh and shit. It's crazy. So yeah, so I was baseball team, but it was one guy who was the best guy on the team. He was like, "Yo, Dwight, you nice, like you nice, my nigga. You can hit the ball, you can hit the fastball of the best pitcher on the team. Like he got the fastest fastball. Like his fastball, not just like the best on the team. He got one of the fastest fastballs in the city, my nigga. Like you can hit his fastball, my nigga. Like not everybody can hit it. I can hit it. But everybody on this team can't hit it and shit. Like only 3 people ever hit his fastball. You one of them and shit. You one of them. The other guy was like always my rival and shit. Was one of the guys was my rival. But so they always had me and him like doing like whenever we would be throwing the ball around and stuff, he would be right there. Like you gotta have partners and stuff to throw the ball to. So they would make up me and him because we was the best. We was the best that came off JV. So me and him. I remember Twin made it to JV, I believe. Christopher. Twin made it to JV. All right, well, we had did an MLB play in high school one time. I was 14, 15 years old. I was with Jade, so I turned 15. So I ended up going to varsity. The next year. Then I was like with Jade at that time in 10th grade, 11th grade. I met Jade in 10th grade, I believe, or 11th grade. What was it? I had a late birthday, so I was like 15, going on 16. Yeah. On varsity. And yeah, man. Had to hit an MLB play. The coach hit it out to the outfield. He hit it to the center left field. So me and Christopher was running to the ball. He was like, I got it. Like, I got it. I got it. I got it. Like, fuck it, you got it. He was like, fuck it, Dwight, you got it. So he slid under me. We was about to crash into each other. He slid under me. I jump over top of him while he's sliding under me and catch the ball. In mid dive, my nigga, caught the ball off right at the edge of the baseball glove. Give me that, curled it in my body, rolled on the ground. He ain't catch that. Came out the glove with it. I popped it out the glove, pop out the glove, grab it with the right hand and throw it to home plate. That was nice. Came out the curl with it, threw it up out the glove, hum it to the home plate. Pop like that, boy. You got like, oh, that was nice. You just got my arm though. My arm got ran over by a car, so throwing the ball, my shoulders would slip out of slip out of socket. It would slip in and out of socket, trying to throw the ball at hard as I could. It was like, you just gotta lift some weights. Why you gotta lift some weights? They ain't know I got ran over by a car. The whole time, like, nah, I was just trying to lift weights then. Always in the gym. Always in the gym trying to lift weights so I can throw the ball. I can throw the ball harder and farther from outfield. Like, only thing, yo, you need your arm not strong enough. Like, your arm, man. Your arm was scrawny as shit. I was scrawny as 15, shorty. I was scrawny, no meat on my body. I had a six pack, but I didn't have no. I was skinny as shit. Skinny as shit, my nigga. I was like, I'm never gonna get fat, my nigga. I'm skinny as shit. Always gonna be attractive to the girls. Now I'm fat, got a little pudgy stomach and shit now. But I know that if so long as I'm not doing something like what I used to, like always exercise and doing some sports and stuff, I know that I'm gonna stay chubby. But shit so crazy is better that I stay chubby than be fit and shit. I know I can feel my six pack still under my skin. I still feel the ripples and stuff. But it's just the little skin there is like covering up my six pack. I can feel it. So I'm still skinny. It's just you got that U.S. Navy flubbly blubbly stuff that they injected me with is covering up my six pack. But I'm like, just keep it there for real, because then it's too distracting. People gay as shit now. I don't want to be too attractive and shit to people. People can see into your house and shit now and shit like that. So I don't want to be too attractive to people. My ex-wife, she saw it. Tanika, she saw it once, because I was working real hard. So me working was like me when I used to play basketball all the time or play baseball all the time. I was always more focused on the sport rather than eating. And so it was like she started to see it. I was in the bathroom one time and my six pack was coming out. And she saw it. She saw it looking through. She came into the bathroom and she saw my six pack. She ran over there and she ran over there and grabbed me, grabbed my ass, and she got horny as shit, grabbed the shit out. I'm like, damn, his stomach getting tight. Like, his stomach. She see the six pack ripples coming out. Like, dang, I'm getting skinny. I'm like, I just said, dang, I'm getting skinny. Unless I think I said I'm getting skinny, I'm losing weight. I'm losing weight. She looked, was like, oh hell, she was like, she grabbed the shit out of me, because you could see the six pack. But yeah, man, I wasn't eating that much. I wasn't really hungry, so I was just focused on my family. I was focused on going to work and take care of my family. I wasn't focused on eating. I wasn't depressed anymore. Like when I was with my wife and my daughter, I was not depressed. So I was more focused on working and stuff. Like how I was when I was young, more focused on taking care of my family and shit. I wasn't depressed, my nigga. I got my brother and my sister and shit. That's how I was. Now I'm like, I got my wife and shit. And my daughter, I ain't depressed, my nigga. Go out there and grind, get that money and shit. Fuck that. Start losing weight, start having my six pack start showing. Now I'm depressed and shit. Stomach coming out again. Like fuck it. Um so yeah, so then I graduate high school actually in 2002, but the ceremony wasn't like to like June 8th 2003 or something like that. We got it in '03. Got our high school diplomas in '03, but we actually finished school in 2002 and shit. That's different. um that senioritis and stuff like that. And then it crossed into the new year. I think crossed into New Year, we had like, if you had extra classes you needed to take, it was like last minute stuff. If you needed to take extra classes, extra courses, they had like accelerated courses and stuff at the end of the '03 school year, like end of the year or whatever. So for the next '03, like you could take like a course that you might have missed, um like history. They like history. I had to take that and shit. I had to take the accelerated course for American history because I got kicked out the class and shit because I wasn't paying attention. So I had to take the accelerated course for that. Finish that. So ended up, and so by the time the '03 June 8th comes, we get, we was at Towson. We went to Towson and we had our graduation ceremony at Towson. I was late, but I wasn't too late. I was late, but I got there in time to walk across the stage. So I walked across the stage, Dwight Gibson, walked across the stage to get my diploma, got a little certificate or whatever. I think I got a certificate. I forget. Got my diploma, shake my hand, Dr. Buntley shook my hand, walked out the stage. Like, damn, I made it just in time. They caught my name and shit. Came out the stage, sat down. Everybody done throwing their little hats in the air and shit. Throw your hat in the air and then walk out. I ain't throw my hat in the air, man. Like, find my hat and shit. So, like, walk out, I see Jade. She got on the red lipstick and shit. Mr. Davis there, Miss Davis there, Jordan, Jasmine, and I finally got to talk to Jade in front of her parents for the first time, and I gave her a hug and shit. I would have gave her a kiss, but I don't want that lipstick on me and shit. She might have kissed me on the cheek or something. I think she kissed me on the cheek or something like that. And then that was the last time I seen Jade at the graduation. Last time I seen her. I'm like, all right, Jade. All right. Left me and she broke up with me and shit. I'm like, man, it's dumb as shit. Left anyway. Whatever, man. Still calling and shit. Oh, you like, Dwight, I got something to tell you. All right, what, you pregnant? Yes, I'm pregnant. I bet you it's a girl. How you know it's a girl? Mad as shit. Mad as shit, man. Took my future from me. Still got my Frostburg University letters, but didn't go and shit. Like, fucked up the whole family plan, yo. We were supposed to go to Frostburg University together. But I was like, man. Anyway, um, I tried to go though, like I said. So I ended up going to Baltimore City Community College after the military. So they pushed me out. I go back to Baltimore City Community College. I start learning about financial aid, and I force myself to learn instead of just be that brand new guy out of high school, not knowing what to do and just relying on his parents to do everything. I forced myself to learn how to enroll because when I did go up to Baltimore City Community College when I was 18, they registered. Well, I registered for classes and everything. Me and Greg, we registered for classes and everything. They were like, all right, so now you got to pay for it. And shit. How you gonna pay for it? I said, how I'm gonna pay for it? Like, I thought that's what we came up here to do. Like, yeah, but you got to pay for it. Like, well, how you like? They like, well, you got to apply for financial aid. I'm like, what? Apply for how long that take and shit? Nobody was in. They didn't encourage us. They didn't tell us that you can apply for financial aid, or you supposed to apply for financial aid first, or have somebody to help us apply for financial aid. Yo, they was like, you won't need this, you won't need your tax information. I'm like, man, I was young, it scared the shit out of me when they were saying all that stuff. Nobody was comforting me like, no, I got you, let me help you out and shit. All right, let's come over here to these computers over here if you trying to take financial aid. It scared me. I didn't know like what you need or if you had to, it was like nobody really was properly informing us. So as soon as they said, how you gonna pay for it, we ain't got no money, they said something about financial aid. I'm like, man, like we need some help applying for financial. All right, well y'all can just maybe next year and shit. Maybe next year. Like next year, we didn't realize that we could apply for financial aid. We could apply for financial aid right in that room and just went to the next semester. Just could have missed the semester and went to the next semester. But nobody, they wasn't helping us. Some guy that was like real stubborn and shit, he wasn't really helpful and shit. He was just like, you supposed to come here knowing your shit already. But like, yo, I'm coming straight from high school. I don't know nothing, my nigga. Like, ain't no computer. I don't have no laptops, no online, no, like, I don't have shit, nigga. We ain't got no internet, my nigga. You like don't know how to do nothing, my nigga. We just children. We don't know how to do shit. It's different back in the day. Like, you don't know shit. You don't have social media. You can't YouTube every fucking thing. You can't Google how to do shit. You don't have that. You still gotta go trying to pick up an encyclopedia trying to learn some shit. So it was harder to get information or know how to do shit. So you just out there wandering, nobody helping you. You ain't gonna get no help. So nobody was helping for real. So I was like, man, Greg, like, fuck it, man. Fuck it. So I went to Auntie Angel and said, yeah, I got try to enroll, but we need to apply for financial aid, and I don't know how to do all that. She was like, you need to get a job. And she kicked me out that same day and shit because we lived on Bentlow. We lived on Bentlow, right by Copper, on the Copper side. Walk up the street. You walk up the street. It's like across the street from North Avenue. So like not by Carver. Go up the street from Carver. Go up to North Avenue, and then once you cross the intersection of North Avenue and North Avenue, then you get on that side of Bentlow. We was on that side of Bentlow. We lived up the block up. We lived right there, so I could walk up, pass up Mondawmin and go up to Baltimore City Community College. Walk up there, apply for school, come back because they ain't had no financial aid. Walk back and shit. Man. Ain't know what to do. So I went to the military. Pushed me out the military. Went back to school from Aunt Jill's house. I went back to school. She was living at 1110 Lakeside Drive at the time, so it took 2 hours to catch the bus from Aunt Jill house to Baltimore City Community College to catch 2 buses. So I would catch either the 19. Then I learned that I can catch the 19, so I can catch the 3. Was it the 3? What was I catching? I would catch the bus on Lock Raven, and the bus on Lock Raven would take me to the 22. So you catch the bus up by Lock Raven, I think it's the 3. The 3 take you to the 22, and the 22 drop you off right in front of the school because it goes straight to Mount Diamond. I would do that. Then I learned that I could just take the 19 on behind Aunt Jill's house, or no, not behind, like right up the street. It's like closer to catch the 19, but it's a longer drive. So you take that 19 all the way downtown. 19 take you all the way downtown. Then you can walk over to the Harbor campus and catch the shuttle to Baltimore City Community College. But I had classes at Harbor campus. Harbor campus wasn't shut down yet, so I had classes at both Harbor campus and the Liberty campus. That's when I met Eva Joy Badaquillo. But Eva Joy Badaquillo, I met her at the Harbor campus. She had the same class as me. I'm like, where you from? Like, Philippines? What the fuck is Philippines at and shit? She had the accent and shit. Used to be laughing at her accent and shit in the back of the class. She used to look back in the back of the class every time, like when grades passing out. It was test time. We would take a test. Grades come out. She hated that. She hated that I had better grades than her. Like my grades was better than hers and shit. Like I knew the answers more. I knew the answers like she knew the answers, but my grades was better than hers on the test. And she was hating that shit. Like always looking behind her, like looking at me, like what are you looking at me for? Eva Joy, get better scores and shit. That's why I can do math better than you and shit. Like yeah, you want to tutor me and shit? I tutor you, all right? I tutor you. I get pregnant in this bitch. That's how she was acting. Like she was getting real personal with it. But I'm like Eva Joy Badaquillo, like girl, you don't count. That was early. I was still what 20. Like around 2009, 2008, something around there, 2009, 2010 or something like that. Yeah, 2008, 9, 10. I was still going to school and shit. I was young as shit, 20 something, mid 20s and shit. Met Eva Joy Badaquillo and shit. I thought she was a white girl at first. I'm like, oh, she's something Asian. I'm like, where you from? Like Philippines. Where that's at and shit. You know, but she had the brown girl that was beside her and shit, like she was Visayas and shit. She didn't really say too much. Eva Joy was more like looked like she was holding her hostage and shit. But she was brown like me. She looked like JR for Talvero and shit. But she was a girl and shit. I'm like, you like JR and shit. Before I even met JR, she looked like JR and shit. I'm like, oh, JR up Calatrava look like JR and shit. Like she holding JR hostage and shit. But I'm like, all right, well, we got to go to class. Our teacher was a black woman, of course, a Hebrew woman. She had white hair. And she was like, dang, she the teacher? Like, she the teacher, nigga. We run shit out. Like she was surprised that black people run shit out here. Like, oh, we run the shit, my nigga. Like, what the fuck is you doing? Like, what you tripping for? So it looked like the Visayan girl had more of a place there than Eva Joy. Because you see brown people every fucking where. Then you had your occasional Caucasian person and shit. Like, one white person, the rest of us just brown, my nigga. You know? And then we had the same... Eva Joy and I had the same desktop publishing teacher and shit. So we would take desktop. I forgot what the name of the course was. I think it was just called desktop publishing. But we had to learn how to do like the stuff. It was the beginning stages of that stuff, man. JavaScript didn't even come out yet, so it was just about to come out. So that, and you had to learn how to do the graphics, like to make like billboards and stuff like that. You had to learn how to take images and stuff like that to put on a page to make like something that you would put on a billboard, put the letters, the image, this, that, the background. You had to learn how to do all that. The length and the width was what she was like, you need to stop eyeing it, Dwight. That's the only problem I got with you. Stop eyeing it. You always eyeing it. Learn your width, your length, and your width. So I'm never like, man, just eye that shit. Like, I look like it's even right here. Shit. She was like, no, you eyeing it. So I still would get better grades than Eva Joy, but because I was eyeing it, I wouldn't get like A pluses and shit like that. Like, I would look like my stuff would still look real good, but it was a different system than Microsoft Word. The same with desktop publishing is with the same what you can do with Microsoft Word, but I had to get more used to it. I got used to it. I was able to use the program that they use at Honeywell. So the program that we was using was this program that they use at Honeywell to make like billboards and all kinds of advertisements and stuff like that. I even got a phone call from Honeywell. That was my second chance from Frostburg. I was like, well, I was like, well, since my Frostburg situation got fucked up, I'm at Baltimore City Community College. I can now do Honeywell. Honeywell called me while I was at I was work study, but I went from work study to supervisor, and I got a contract with Baltimore City Community College. So I started working for the state. So I got employed by the state of Maryland instead of just doing work study. I got paid more. So now I actually work for the school, like they did. And when I was working there, I got a phone call by Honeywell. Miss Denise picks up the phone like, Dwight, you got a phone call? Yeah, about Honeywell or something like that. Honeywell or something? I don't know. So yeah, her phone. She was all acting all like she needed me and shit. I was like, so I'm on the phone and she giving me facial expression and shit, like looking at me like, you gonna work? You gonna leave and shit? I wanted to say yeah. She was like, yeah, we at Honeywell. We have a job offer for you at Honeywell and this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay. I talked to my teacher about working at Honeywell, and then they called me and shit. I should have took the job. Like, that's okay. They need me here and shit. I said, that's okay. They need me here at Baltimore City Community College. So I'm gonna keep this job here. When I finish graduating, then I'll put in, may call you guys back and stuff. Because once I graduate, I'm not gonna work here anymore. But they wanted me to work there while I still was in school because my grades was real good. Because I did tell my teacher, like, you put a word in for Honeywell. I really meant that, but I should have took the job at Honeywell. That was a big company, my nigga. The Honeywell still like if you do like Comcast, Xfinity. I don't know if they use Honeywell products anymore, but when they do home security, they use Honeywell products at first. And they make security systems. So it was like in the bracket still of Homeland Security. I was like, dang, I could have still made my future. People keep rerouting me from my future because, like, dang, Mr. Denise felt some kind of way and was like, we need you. So I didn't take the job and shit. Parents now let me go to Frostburg to do Homeland Security. Try to get a second chance with Baltimore City Community College. I was like, they need me here and shit. So I didn't do the Honeywell. Then I started doing Xfinity cable. I did home security cable, and I installed Wi-Fi too. So I could have did commercial. I just didn't do commercial. Whatever. It was just like seemed like it would have been too easy, and I just kind of wanted to do home security. Like I felt like that was more of a challenge. Like if I learn how to do home security, I can learn how to do. I can say I know how to do everything because commercial was just the same. Just install coax and just install people's stuff. It was the same. Probably just a little bit more phone calls and putting in more than one phone number. That's just more like calling people on the phone and shit. That's nothing. But knowing how to do the home security, that might be a little harder because then you got contracts, you got to put stuff in the system, the touch. It was a little bit more difficult, So different links you got to put in and shit like that. You calling people from the Philippines. Yeah, okay, hello, sir. Da 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 da. I'm like, oh, is this the white? No. So then if I say it's not Dwight, they won't treat me all funny and shit. Well, this tech number says it's Dwight and shit, so stop fucking playing with me and shit. Like, all right, it's me, Dwight and shit. That's what it be. And then they be like, okay, then they might play with you and shit. The links don't be working for the touchscreen. They be playing with me and shit. Bunch of girls from the Philippines and shit up in the call centers playing with me and shit, not letting me get my money and shit. So I be sitting on these people's jobs for a lot of hours and shit, waiting for the stuff to go through. Then finally it goes through. Finally, out of nowhere, everything checks out. That's the only thing about home security. You gotta wait for stuff to check out. Gotta get the links and the securities to be checked out and stuff like that. Anyway, yeah. So if you do a takeover, so let's say somebody had ADT or something like that, home security system before. You could do a takeover. So you just take over the system that's already installed there and just wire it up. And it can be a wired system. It's a wired wireless system at the same time. So you wire it up with the all of the stuff that they already got in a system, and whatever is not compatible with the Honeywell products, we would switch it out. Excuse me, but whatever is compatible with the Honeywell products or the touchscreen and stuff like that, we would keep it there. Just change the battery or something like that. If we need to change a battery, or if it's dead, just change the whole thing out, put a new one there. Sensors and stuff like that. Sensors, monitors, motion sensors, all kinds of sensors and cameras too. Cameras we would put in because it's Comcast cameras, but we would put the cameras in if they want a camera. But motion sensors and just regular old sensors and stuff, door sensors and stuff, window sensors, put that in, It'd be a lot sometimes, like 30 something. It'd be a lot of sense. Like, yo, what the fuck is y'all scared of? This house is not that big for 30 something senses, my nigga. Niggas don't even got 35 senses. What did you talking about? Niggas don't go into the warehouse. Like, let me get like 50 senses and shit. When they had door sensors and let me get 50 of them and shit. Niggas don't do that at the warehouse. Like, what the fuck? If you unless you was in Utah, you was installing in like Heber, Park City, Heber, installing and shit. Like, yo, what is you scared of? Like, oh, refrigerator open and shit. Like, what the fuck is y'all afraid of, my nigga? Refrigerator open and shit. Like, niggas is got all these sense, scared of everything, my nigga. Scared of everything. Oh my god, yo. But the takeovers, anyway, they be wanting stuff on every window and everything. Like, yo, y'all, okay, you want doors and one. You ain't got that many doors. We got all these fucking windows, though. So, damn, that's crazy. Got the window, the patio, this. Install, some guy was from India and shit. Some guy was from India. The Indians don't connect with us. Believe it or not, you either the Quickie Mart guy or you some extremely fantastic person from India that is with the computers. So it's this guy from India, right? And I go to his house. He got this mini mansion and shit. It's a mini mansion for real, my nigga. I drive up there like, yo, this shit is big as shit. He got children's toys in the driveway and shit. Little basketball goalposts. Like, oh, he got children and shit, but they somewhere. He got a living maid and shit. So I go in there by myself. He like, all right, I'll be back and shit. He just leave me in there by myself and shit. I'll be back and shit. Like, what the fuck? All right. So I go into the data room and shit. It's big as shit in that house. I go to the data room, all these wires. Okay, typical. Where you want this at? I want to here, and here. Like, all right. So I try to mark all the places. Here, leave sensors off. Because then he left. I'm like, shit, what did he say? So leave the sensors at the areas he wanted at, then install it later. I had to use two routers, my nigga. I had to use two routers in this man's house. I had to use two routers. Or maybe one router, but I had to kept repositioning it because he had an area and the gym area was so far away, it was hard to get the sensors to activate in that area. So he wanted a sensor there. I couldn't really get it to pass. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just take it over here and get that shit to pass. Then once I get that shit to pass, get a green, put that shit back over there at the window and shit. My nigga, fuck that. That's too far away. But I still had to use a router though. So, because the data room was where the Wi-Fi was at, that didn't reach everywhere because it was like not reaching the sensors. It was late. The sensors was late. So you open the door and then the ding all like 3 seconds late. Ding. Like, dang, that's late. I need a route over here. That was in this man's house, back and forth, up and down, big ass house. My nigga had an iPad, Apple product iPad in the wall. And the first time I seen that, like, the fuck? Control the TV and the shit, control the doors and the power. Like, yo, these niggas rich coming over here. Yo, they is not us, my nigga. Native Indians, we is like, they took the shit out of our land. This niggas coming over here, rich as shit. It's not the same as us. They don't think the same as us. They don't feel the same as us. They look at us different. They don't have the same concept of whatever struggles that we go through. They look at us from a free mindset. And we, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not the same. So when they look at us, it's not the same. It's more like a disconnection, you know? Anyway, so Quickie Mart guys. Some of them Quickie Mart guys be having family members that's rich as shit. They was trying to tell me that in Utah, these niggas rich as shit. They is not connected to y'all. This nigga got a whole mansion in Utah. You poor shit on food stamps and shit. So we not the same. Anyway, off that. So the Honeywell product. So it's doing a takeover. Sorry, I'll be back rolling y'all. But these Honeywell products are the takeover. Like, for example, if you want to put like if I need to put in a bunch of cards, so I need to put these cards into the takeover system and like wire it in there so that the sensors can work. So I can have all my sensors wired up. So I would just have to put however many cards. I remember one guy house we had to put like 3 or 4 cards in there. He had so many sensors. I had to put 3 or 4 cards in there. Then we had to put the what was it? The smoke detector system in there. Had to wire that in there for the smoke detector. And then after wiring all of that in there, we had to put the wireless. We had to wire the wireless antenna in there and leave that at the top. And then we can wire the touchscreen to the wireless sensor And then from the touchscreen can wire to all of the wireless sensors that we have wireless. So some were wired and some were wireless. So we took over the wired ones, and the wireless ones, we just added extra wireless ones or whatever that they wanted there on different windows and stuff like that. So we used the takeover and then added the wireless ones to the touchscreen. So I'm like, all right, but the takeover itself was Honeywell products. So when it came to so we took the ADT system off. Like when you punch in, if you do wireless, you get a wireless sensor, or a wireless touchscreen. So you put the touchpad, keypad. My fault. A wireless keypad. You get the wireless keypad, or you can do a takeover and then put the wired keypad in, but it's a Honeywell keypad. So when you do it in, it'll say Honeywell on the side. So yeah, all the products that we used was Honeywell, my nigga. The takeover stuff was Honeywell. So that kind of made me think like, dang, I could have went to Honeywell back in the day and shit. I could have been in Homeland Security. I could have secured my, like, yo, keep getting fucked up, yo. I'm about to stop listening to people, my nigga. Here I am back on the fucking ground on the street sack. We need you and shit when I could be working for Honeywell or some shit. Like, man, a bunch of people getting rich off my sacrificing and shit, looking at me like, well, you ain't have a future anyway. You just was seeing me at one point in my fucking life. I had a whole fucking future a couple times, my nigga. I could have been rich. I could have been well off. I could have been in a nice house. I could have been like Aunt Rhea and shit. A nice ass house working for Honeywell. Honeywell's a big ass company, my nigga. Could have been working for Honeywell. I could have went to Frostburg University, did my Homeland Security. I could have been working doing the computers for Homeland Security, behind the stage on some Secret Service shit, and had a nice ass house. You know what I'm saying? I could have been doing that shit. Red was still with Dennis at the time. I could have been doing good and shit. And she way ahead of me and shit. I could have been doing that. Then at the same time with doing that, I could have been doing home improvement and shit like she doing now. Like, I'm about to build me some shit because I'm comfortable as shit. Now I want to get my Tim the Toolman Taylor on like grandma and shit and start building some shit. And then could have been like that. But Red start doing it. Red start doing it. She Tim the Toolman Taylor now. She real nice with it. I could have been nice with it. If I'd have stuck to if I'd have had help for my future, y'all, could have been good. Now I'm out here on the fucking ground, looking like a fucking bum and shit. Had a whole life, my nigga. I'm not lazy. I'm not a bum or nothing. Y'all had a whole future, my nigga. Got a good head on my shoulders. A whole future, yo. Could have worked at Honeywell, my nigga. Could have went to Frostburg University. So I went to Baltimore City Community College, and they helped me back. That's what happened. So that's the end of the video now, which I was waiting for. What happened with that? So I got held back. My teacher was Sadiq. He is Sadiq and Tariq Nur. They were from, I don't know, but they spoke Urdu, and it looked like that was their native tongue, Urdu, from India or something like that, or Pakistan or something like that. And they were the computer teachers. So they were my counselors and shit. I didn't know they had secret feelings and shit like that, but they was whatever, So I had to go to the math and science building to talk to them, but I ended up passing everything. I passed everything. I was about to get my associate's degree. Only needed to take one class, and that was Microsoft Excel. So I was one class short of graduating. For some reason, they kept dropping my Excel class. They kept dropping it and shit. Auto drop is what they call it. Auto drop. So whoever the fuck wanted to tamper with my future was fucking my future up by dropping my classes. They kept snatching my course from me, making me not be able to graduate. So I never graduated from the community college and then transferred to a 4-year college. What my plan was. Go from Baltimore City Community College and transfer probably to UB or something like that. I didn't want to go to Morgan or Coppin like everybody do. Morgan or Coppin. That's all people ever say. Morgan or Coppin and shit. Like, no, I'm going to go to UB, my nigga. UB or something like that, downtown or something. Something else. I was going to go to UB. But, or UMBC or something like that. Like, Crystal was at. Because I like the campus and stuff. Like, I can go to UMBC. It's cool. Catch the bus out there. I know how to get out there. Shit, I'll go there. UMBC or UB, University of Baltimore. Just gonna go there, right downtown. Everything at and shit. You just catch the light rail to UB, my nigga. Like, just easy to get to UB. No matter what, you can get there. But that's what I was gonna do. Transfer. I wasn't going in there. I get my associate's degree, transfer, then work on my bachelor's degree with computer science. Because PC application specialist was just a way for me to get a degree so I can get to a 4-year college, and then I can work on my computer science degree and I can start doing homeland security. But they held me back. They was not Sadiq Nur was the counselor I talked to all the time. Tariq was his brother. I never really talked to him, but Sadiq, he would always be there like, click on it, click on it, click on everything. You see this and that? Click on it. Like just saying click on it all the time. So I would always ace all of the classes I had with him. I would ace the course. Like we had a final exam for Microsoft Word. We had to use it like a desktop publishing in a way. Once we learned how to use Microsoft Word, we had to learn how to use every little detail on the Microsoft Word. And it was Microsoft 07. 2010 ain't come out yet. But still, it's the same. 2010 was the same as 07. So I still was using 07. And then it was brand new too. I think it was 07 or 08. It was either 07 or 08. Brand new. Came out. Used everything on that motherfucker. Then I was nice with it. I got so nice with it that he gave a final exam that you got to put the graphics and make everything designed exactly like how we put it on there. You got to do it exactly like how we did it on the paper. I did mine so exact, it looked like his paper and shit. It looked like I had a secret way to get into his files and download his paper and then come out with it and shit. It looked like that. So then when the final exam came, he was like, "Now save the file, this, that, and the third on the flash drive, extract it from my flash drive to his computer." And then he was looking at it he was like, "What the fuck?" He looked at his paper, then looked at mine. He was like, "It look exactly like mine and shit. Like you said, make it exactly like the paper and shit. Like you said, make it exactly like what you did it. It got to be exactly like how you did it." So I did it exactly like how you did it. Yeah, but it's exactly like it, my nigga. Like no errors and shit. Exactly like how mine looked. Like, oh, you cheated? Like, no, I didn't cheat. Like, how could I cheat and shit? He was like feeling some kind of way. Like, all right, you passed A+ and shit. So I got a Microsoft Word. I got an A+. Supposed to got an A something. Anyway, then I took PowerPoint, aced that and shit, aced the shit out the PowerPoint, man. I had that shit nice, man, nigga. I made it to where it looked like some niggas was snowboarding down a hill and shit. I made that shit look nice. I mean, you talking about making a slide from scratch, my nigga? Making a slide from scratch, going to the little photo thing, get some GIFs on there, get some niggas snowboard. Okay, look like these niggas snowboarding and shit. Put one here, it's the same guy, but put one big and then we'll put one small, look like he in the background and shit. Have them come down the hill, come down sideways and shit. Look like they sloping. So when the slide come over, it look like these niggas came out of nowhere, out the side of the page, sliding downhill on some snowboarding shit. And then you got the words come up. I was nice with the PowerPoint, my nigga. Fuck, I ain't gotta tell me nothing with the PowerPoint. So I did the PowerPoint. It was like, oh, that's nice. You got the niggas coming through and shit. And then I ain't had to click nothing. That shit was on auto. I was nice with the automatic and the click it. Like it's just automatic. Nigga talk for a couple seconds and that shit just automatically slide to the next slide and shit. So you had to be good with the speech and shit. Took public speech or something like that, speech class. I had to take speech class with a bunch of other people from Nepal and Sri Lanka. I had some girls from Sri Lanka in my class and shit. I'm like, y'all want some hot fries and shit? They was like, nah, we don't want no hot fries. Hungry as shit, want some hot fries. I'm like, y'all sure y'all want a hot fries? Here, take a hot fries. You can take the whole bag and shit. They took the whole bag. Like, all right, we take the bag. We took the whole bag of hot fries. Yeah, I ain't even opened it yet. Take the whole bag and shit. Know y'all want these hot fries, acting phony and shit. Don't want to eat American food, but you in America, you won't only eventually eat American food. Then there was Prim. He was from Nepal. He sat behind me and shit. We was in speech class, and like I said, these girls from Sri Lanka and that's at the third, and then we had other people from different countries. They were just coming into our school, and they was like from wherever they was from. We was first time we seeing people from wherever. Like we didn't have people in Baltimore City Community College that was not black or whatever the case. We just opened the door for everybody. So you start seeing everybody come: Africans, Indians, people from Sri Lanka, Nepal, people from everywhere, from Malaysia, Philippines, everybody. We open the door for everybody in our city and in our schools. But at first, when I was just coming out of high school, it was just black people still. Just black people, nobody else and shit. Just us, black people and shit. So opening the door for everybody kind of helped our school in a way. Investments and stuff like that. I think the last president when I was there was a black woman. She had a high top fade and shit. Like, oh, she a nice ass high top fade. That shit sharp as shit. She was the president of the Baltimore City. Like, yeah, yo, could have talked to the president. I should have talked to the president of the school about my Microsoft Excel because they fucked me up. I was supposed to graduate, my nigga. Supposed to graduate it, man. Kept talking to Miss Coakley, like, yo, Miss Coakley, you keep on taking my class and shit. Miss Coakley not there no more and shit. Like, man. So then it's like, who's here and shit that's still here? Like, yo, they keep auto dropping my class, please. Is there some kind of way I can take it online or something like that? It would not let me take Microsoft Excel. I took Access. I took the Microsoft Access class, got an A. I aced the shit out that shit. Got a straight A in that motherfucker. All of my Microsoft stuff, I got straight A's. I aced it. But they didn't let me take Excel. So Excel was all I needed to pass that and graduate and go to a 4-year. Now that is it's like that major that I had, PC application specialist, is no longer a major. So I had to pick up a new major, ECE, early childhood education. I chose. They were like, yeah, you no longer got PC application specialist. Like, what the fuck, y'all? Like, you keep holding me back, my nigga. Like, I'm supposed to graduate. Fuck is y'all holding me back for, yo? Like, let me graduate, my nigga. Let me go and take my classes and graduate and all this and all that. You're fucking me up. Just keep holding me back. I'm taking classes and shit. And then after I take the class, I take another class and just auto drop my class. That's what they did. Auto drop my Excel class to where I didn't graduate on time back in whatever, like over 07. I was supposed to graduate at 07, 08. Kept dropping my shit. Like, yo, how do you keep dropping? Like, you gotta pick a class. You pick a class that don't got that many rooms left. So I had that much space left. Like all of the students, like 25 students. If it say 25, don't pick that class because there's nobody in it and shit. You gotta pick a class that got like 11 spaces left and shit like that, so that you know that they're not gonna drop the class because there's a lot of people in there. I was doing that. I was like, Sadiq was like, you gotta. I did that, my nigga. I'm not brand new. I know how to. I've been doing that, my nigga. I picked the class with everybody in it. They automatically dropped the class because I went to my Excel class. It's me and it was like about 4 or 5 other students waiting for the class to open up. There's a letter on the door that said, "Oh, this class has been auto dropped and shit." What the fuck? You know, so I did it again. I need a course that I can jump in. Hey, like all the classes is closed and shit. So what Excel classes is being taken? Oh, you should have picked this one. Like, bitch, mad as shit. One of the girls that work at the computer lab, she took one online. I don't know how you get an online one. Like, I talked to Sadiq and shit. Like, talk to Sadiq. Why I need an online class? Ain't no online classes right now and shit. Like, but this one girl got an online class that I know and shit. She got an online. Oh, yeah, well, maybe she. I'm like, man, fucking me up. Disrespectful. Y'all always keep meeting people that's disrespectful as shit, fucking my future up, my nigga. So I didn't get to graduate. I got all the credits I need to graduate. I got a lot of credits, yo, on my college transcript. A lot of credits. Yeah, my grades ain't all that because I kept working and shit. I had to work too. I got to work and go to school. So working and going to school wasn't working out. So I kept failing classes and shit. Not being able to make it to school. It looked like I'm just dumb as shit. When you look at my transcript, it looked like I'm dumb as shit. But if you knew that I'm in the hood and I got to survive, oh, he working shit. Yeah, I got to work and go to school, my nigga. So I was missing classes and shit, trying to go to work. So it was fucking me up. So then I started doing work study. And once I started doing work study, I was able to make my classes and stuff like that. But then still life was hitting me and shit. So it was hard to really get through it all. My Aunt Jill, she let me stay there as long as I was going to school. So she was trying to let me graduate. Still wouldn't let me graduate, man. So it got fucked up. Got, some man called the police on me. I end up leaving and shit. So I didn't finish school. I didn't have a place to stay after that. I just been on the street ever since, homeless and shit. Homeless as shit, bouncing everywhere and shit. Doing any fucking thing. Trying to survive. Then Greg came from the Philippines. Greg was like, yo, help you do some cable and shit. Teach me how to do cable. He was doing cable since 2012. Or I met him, I'd seen him doing cable in 2012. He probably was doing cable before 2012. But he was off and on too. But he was like, yeah, yo, I was seeing them when the Dories first came out. The XG2s, the XG2s? XB2s? The XB2s just came out. The Dories just came out. Not XG2, sorry about that. The XB2s just came out. We call them the Dories. Then the XB3s, they wasn't even thought of yet. So the XB2s was brand new. The EMTAs, was like, they was still good too, but they was taking EMTAs out. So if you was like a person that was like in college or something, you had some money, like somebody rich and shit, like a Chinese girl or some shit. She's in America going to John Hopkins or something like that. So or whatever. So we'll go, or she was going to. I think it was she was going to UB or something like that. And she was in a campus and she was living in one of the houses in the campus, one rich ass spots downtown, a rich ass spot right there by Lexington Market. The market right there. It's like when you going down Utah. What is that? Where is it at? Where is it at? Not Utah. I forgot the name of the street. But it's right there. You got the supermarket there. You got this expensive ass apartment complex right there. So then she lived there. Greg had to install her cable. You gotta be rich as shit to live down there. So she had an EMTA, switched out the EMTA for XG2, XB2. Like, damn, what's those? The Dories, it's just brand new, just coming out. It was like a XB, it's like a XB8. It's an 8 and shit. Like, put an 8 in that motherfucker. The 8s just came out. Damn, the 8s just came out and shit. Like, 8s and shit. XB6, XB7, XB8. Put an 8 in that motherfucker. Like, damn, you want an 8? 8s just came out. They brand new. You rich as shit. So it was like that. So EMTAs and then XB2s and switched out the EMTA. Like, these EMTAs still good, my nigga. She like, XB2 got the Dory, my nigga. The Dories come on. Yeah, well, he was installing those. So he was showing me. He didn't teach me. He was just doing it. I was just riding with him because he's my homeboy. Yeah, so that was 2012. Then I ended up going back to Baltimore City Community College. And I was working work study. I said, I work study, yo. Trying to finish school and shit. He'd be like, well, all right. So I didn't do cable with him. Later on, went to the Philippines. I was on SSI because seizures and schizophrenia I had. So they put me on SSI because I was in a mental hospital. A lot of dumb shit. So I ended up going to the Philippines. Become a rabbi and shit. In the process, I'm fighting a bunch of demons and jealous ass, gay ass motherfuckers and shit. Having spiritual battles with these motherfuckers and shit. So I'm having seizures and episodes out there. Or whatever the case, come back. Greg was like, yo, he started teaching me how to do cable and shit. So I started doing cable. Ever since 2017 up to now, I tried to go back to Baltimore City Community College to take ECE, early childhood education. That's when I ended up going to the Philippines. And I took that's why if they still got my stuff in the Philippines, my ex-wife still got my stuff, then my books that I have are from Baltimore City Community College. Those courses I took already, and I passed those for early childhood education. So if you see those books in the Philippines and you see like, what kind of books was these? So you got the little black boy with the wagon and he's carrying every fucking body and shit. Everybody from every fucking where coming to our city, coming to our school and shit, and we gotta carry y'all fucking asses. So that book, you see the little black boy on there, carrying all these people in the wagon and shit, trying to welcome them to America. That's what you see. That book, all these different books I got from the courses that I took. And I ended up going to the Philippines because I knew it wasn't going to be that long and shit. So I went to the Philippines and I was going to come right back. So I'm going to just take a break. I'm going to take a break from Baltimore City Community College, go, because God is first. So I went to learn about God first, and I was going to come right back. But he tried to get me married, got me jammed up by talking about some marriage and shit. In the process of me going to the Philippines, I stopped at Lancaster, California. Because there was a woman I was talking to online. Her name was Miriam Fitzpatrick and shit. Miriam Fitzpatrick. Anyway, she was 53. I was 28, 27. And I liked who she was, yo. We was talking and stuff, met her face to face. I really liked who she was. She was thinking, probably had some insecurities about herself, like I'm too old and shit. And probably, you got a bunch of memories and shit in your brain spaces and shit from probably niggas fucking you up. You could have been a porn star at one time in your life. You could have had 3 and 4 dicks at one point in your life, and you fucked up and shit. So you meet this brand new young guy and shit. So it's like your head fucked up already about men. Who knows what you've been through? You 53, I'm 27, 28. And I'm with you and shit. I'm like, yeah, I'm really trying to be with you. You've been my concubine and shit. Because you're not a virgin. A wife is a virgin. A concubine is a woman that are not virgins. You already have children and stuff like that. So you would be a concubine. Yeah, you can upgrade to a wife eventually when we connect. But because you had men already, you're a concubine. You start off like that first. Until we build greater connection and stuff like that. Then you could be a wife. A wife is somebody that's directly connected to you, my nigga. They think like you, move like you, talk like you. They don't got another man in their brain spaces and shit. They only got one dick. That's a wife. And yet that one dick is you. So that's a wife. But concubine is what I say. You can be my concubine. Like, that's the same. Like, you can call me as a concubine and shit. Like, I don't got nobody else. I'm just with you and shit. But you still a concubine because you got all these children and stuff. One, your son older than me and shit. You know? And then you got daughters and shit that's my age and shit. They feeling kinds of ways about you being with somebody their age and shit. All that. So I didn't leave Miriam Fitzpatrick to go to the Philippines. I said they gotta talk about that. That was a pit stop in the Lancaster, California. Ended up homeless in Lancaster, California. But how did that happen and shit? Miriam was like, she was mad that I said, remember, I told you that I gotta go to the Philippines before I even left Baltimore. I said I'm going to the Philippines, you know, because I got permission from the rabbi in charge, Simon Altaf. She knew all of this on the phone before I even came and met her face to face. So when I meet her face to face, I'm sitting here. I'm like, yeah, I gotta save money so I can get a plane ticket and stuff like that. She's like, well, you gotta get the fuck out of here, because she started charging me $300 to stay with her. I'm like, well, really, I ain't have to stay with you, man. I could have just stayed in Baltimore and saved up money. I was just coming to meet you, teach you a few things here and there, some Hebrew here and there, and then go to the Philippines. And I said, I'll come back to you. I'm not thinking that go out there and be with somebody or some shit like that. I'm going out there to do the schooling, get the degree. I'm thinking it's official and all that. You talking about Forever Israel? You know, African Israel. This is official. This has got a website and shit. They got a website. They official. It's a real organization. So if you got a school out there in the Philippines, I've never been to the Philippines before, so I don't know what it's like. So I'm like, I never heard stories or nothing. So I'm like, if I go out there, they probably got a big building and shit. Go to the school, get enrolled. I can take the school for free and shit. That shit was fake as shit. Like, it was like some phony ass shit. A bunch of people. It wasn't fake as shit, but it was just like not what I was expecting and shit. And you know, so it was crazy. But the part about it was, they were trying to build a school, but they was just a bunch of people together in a certain house or a certain place holding lessons and stuff like that. But they didn't actually have an official school. I'm like, oh, they trying to get an official school started. I'm like, okay, so this is some organization that's like trying to get themselves off the ground and shit. You know, so I'm like, all right, so they just starting, they just trying, you know, the Philippines, they got different places you can go to, China here, there, but the Philippines, they just not, whatever. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I ain't want to do the online class because it was going to cost $4,000 or some shit, like $4,000 for 3 years. Like, I don't have $4,000 to pay you out of pocket every 3 years, my nigga, to be a rabbi. I don't have that money. But I really want to find a way of the Most High. So he said, you can go to the Philippines. You can take the schooling for free in the Philippines, as long as you can feed yourself. Like, I'm on SSI, so I can just do that and stuff. I'm like, oh, you good, then? Yeah, I'll go there, do that. How long was 3-year courses? Or 3 years? Like, I could do that for 3 years. Go to the Philippines for 3 years, graduate, come back to Baltimore City Community College and finish my associate's degree with early childhood education and shit. And then I can just continue on. Then I can start writing children's books and stuff like that. That's what I wanted to do. Write children. I had 7 children's books written already. 7 children's books written already. I got a lot of books I wrote, but kept getting stolen and shit. 7 children's books. Then I illustrated 4 other children's books on top of the 7 later on. Then I wrote 3 comic books. One of them was fully completed. The second one was fully completed. The third one was I just started, and then the fourth one was Savage Millennium. I didn't even start. I just got the front covers. I just did the front cover. I didn't even get it. Now I got my 5th one called Failed Mission, and I got like about a page and a half. I didn't want to keep going. I'm like, man, the more I do, the more shit start getting stolen and shit. So I just stopped. I don't want to show people the Soul House and what it looked like in the Soul House and what's happening, because then they're gonna steal my shit and make movies off that shit again. So I had a lot, 5 comics, 4 children's books on top of 7 other children's books that I just wrote. I didn't illustrate. So it was all kind of shit I was doing, yo. I had going on or whatever the case. So like I said, 7 children's books, 4 other children's books that I actually illustrated. One called Tears, one called Care Energy. I love Care Energy. That shit got stolen. Care Energy was my favorite one. That was the first one I did illustrated. Care Energy. I only got the cover, a screenshot of the cover. That was a beautiful one, man. Care Energy. Then the second one was Tears, 7 Save 9. And I made a fourth one. I think. I forgot. Maybe it was just 3. I thought I did 4 of them. Anyway, but I had 7 children's books written up. The first one was called Fish with a Coin. Fish with a Coin, based on the scripture in Matthew when they asked the Savior if he paid temple tax, and Kepha went out there and went fishing and got the coin that was in the fish mouth. And so I wrote a story, Fish with a Coin. What was the story of the fish? How did the coin get in his mouth? So I wrote a children's story, made up some story about how the fish got the coin in his mouth, and I made it a children's story. The fish was named Trout, and then his friend name was Cat, and stuff like that. And they was now old enough to go into the open sea, but don't get hit by the current. So they saw some shiny ass coin in the current. Trout want to go race Cat. Cat stops. No, it's the current. We're not allowed to go to the current. We're not strong enough to swim with the current yet. So he like, who cares? He go get the coin, go into the current. He go get the coin, go into the current, and get swept by the current, but he still got the coin in his mouth, or whatever the case, and he's trying to swim, or whatever. Oh no, he had the coin in his fin first, and he's trying to swim with the coin in his fin. He can't, so he put the coin in his mouth, and then he's trying to swim, and so then he like tried to swim, but he couldn't make it. So then his fishing rod comes and he grabs on. I made it innocent. He grabs onto the fishing rod with his fin and get pulled out, and then he got a coin in his mouth. And he was like, "What are you gonna give me to throw you back out there?" He was like, "Oh, I got this coin. Oh, look, that belongs to me. Think I could use that?" I'm like, "Oh, thank you so much." And saved his life. So Kepha throws the fish past the current back into the sea. So Trout swims and finds Cat, and he was like, "Yeah, this man." He talks about this man eating the coin, and then the Kepha takes the coin and pays it for temple tax, or whatever the case, and the Trout swims back out there, and his family's like, "Didn't I tell you not to go to the current?" But it was that. So I made a story about the fish. That was the first story I ever wrote, Fish with a Coin. Then The Great Lily. The Great Lily was the next one I wrote. The Great Lily was about a man tired of his life. He's cooking some food and he says something wise. Oh, the same old this, or whatever the case. And then he goes like, hey man, this is something growing in the desert or something. A lily or something. They said something growing in the desert. So he pays. It takes like a month to get there. So he packs all this stuff. He goes and journeys out there. You see people going out there with him, journeying to see this lily that's growing in the desert and shit. They just want to see this little teeny lily that sprouted in the desert out of nowhere. So they travel, and then you start getting closer. You can smell the fragrance of it. It's so loud. We getting closer to smelling shit. So you see people going towards it, and you see people leaving. Like, man, it's like, I don't want to stand there until he's leaving. Like, and then some people was loving it. Like, man, that was a beautiful sight to see. Some people was complaining, man, who cares? This should just cut it down. So he had different thoughts and stuff. So finally he gets to the lily. The whole time he's going to the lily, he's saying wise stuff about life. Like, hopefully, like about hope and life and wanting hope and stuff like that. Wanting to find life and stuff. He starts saying clever, wise things. Finally, you get to the lily. The lily sprouts and it grows out of the ground so big. The bottom of the lily, the bottom of it take 3 days to journey around the whole circumference of the lily. That's how big it grows. And it's so big that you had openings in it. You can walk into it and stuff like that. So people start going inside of the lily. He goes inside of the lily and you see the shining bright light. You got like cotton that was like picked already. This is the ground. Cotton is the ground. It's not sand. It's cotton and stuff. And then you go deeper inside of the lily. You got angels and stuff like that flying around. You got streams of water and stuff. You got fruits and vegetables and stuff. Like, what the fuck? You pick the fruit off the thing and it grows back. All kind of stuff was in this lily. And so the lily closed up. And then the outside get dark. And it said something is coming. Darkness is coming. So people try to run and get back inside the lily, or whatever the case. And they couldn't get inside because it closed up. It was the people that was trying to chop it down. They stayed outside, tried to chop it down, but they could never chop it down. So the people got inside of it, and it closed up or whatever, and they was already inside rather. So then darkness comes and demons start to come on some doom mess, and they try to get us, let us in, let us in. They get caught by the demons or whatever, and then demons trying to break inside the lily. They're eating it. So the lily sprout vines and stuff from underneath the sand and shields itself in a bubble. So it said, welcome to the lily and shit. Prepare yourself to meet your creator and shit. So I made a story about the lily. The great lily was about that. And then you had like a room you live in, like it was like some Zelda stuff at some point. You live in a tree and then you lay under you have this big huge giant leaf and it's like a blanket. So it was nice, but the lights was always on. It was like a cloud of light, energy lights and stuff, energy clouds. It was like shining like lights and stuff, and people was all over that lily. Lily was big as ever. You couldn't really traverse it. So that was that. Did that in creative writing class, the Great Lily. Then I did one, a lion named King. He's gonna go get some water from the river or something like that, the stream, for his children, but left his children behind. He was a single parent father, went to go get some water for his children, and then as he's getting the water, he gets snatched up or something like that. And he's trying to ask his brothers, his relatives, for help and shit with his children. Can you watch my something like that? I forgot how I wrote it though. But he had the Black Panther. He's the lion named King. And then you had the Black Panther. Then you had the tiger. Then you had the cheetah. All of his cousins and relatives that were cats didn't want to help him or something like that. So they saw him get dragged off. He was in a cage. He got hit by the jungle jingle jigsters. The jungle jingle jigsters. The JJJ, which is next to what? K. So J is before K. So I said the jungle jingle jigsters, and then it's the KKK. Like, okay, so he get hit by the tranquilizer dart. So the jungle jingle jigsters start singing a song. Instead of shoot him with a gun, they had a microphone, and so they like tranquilizing him with the song that they singing, and he falls asleep, and they put him in a cage and drives off. I made it innocent. And he drives off. You never see his children again. He got caught by the jungle jingle jigsters, the JJJ and shit. So I made it that, but his cousins never helped him. The Black Panther, the cheetah, the tiger, the children was like, where's my father? Where's my father? I don't know. They all lied to the children and said they don't know, but they all knew that he got caught by the JJJ, the jungle jingle jigsters. So the lion named King that got stolen. Rejected Child 1 and 2. Rejected Child was about another story about the Savior came to the Sea of Galilee, and when he had the people, and he said, don't forbid the children to come to me, because the children were trying to come, but Kepha stopped him. He said, no, so it's as of such is the kingdom of heaven, as to be like these children and stuff. But where did the children come from? Because he's like out of the middle of nowhere, and these children came out of nowhere, and he's like, don't forbid the children to come to me. So it was an orphanage in Galilee somewhere. And this child comes, he get bullied. He goes, sleeps under the tree because he hear a voice call. He goes sleep under the tree. And as he's sleeping under the tree, his wounds heal. Like his bruises heal as he's sleeping under the tree. As he's waking up the next day, there's a bunch of crowd of people walking and stuff. So he walk with the crowd of people. The Savior sits down somewhere and he starts to talk. So he runs to his friends in the orphanage. And the orphanage has this like dark cloud over top of it. Goes to his friends in the orphanage. I found somebody. So they come running out there. The other people was like, who you find? And the bullies like, who you find? They all run out there and stuff. So they see the Savior, and so they ended up getting adopted by the crowd of people. They get adopted by them and just walk with them. But they ended up running to the Savior first. And they was like, don't forbid the children, for such is the kingdom of heaven. So that little boy, he was like, I heard your voice. And like, you said, this is the same voice I heard when I'm asleep. Like, in news. So I made a story called The Rejected Child. Then I made a part 2. I didn't finish that one. Then I made so many books, yo. So many children's books I wrote. Stolen, yo. Good Fruit, Bad Fruit was another one. Good Fruit, Bad Fruit was about the sweet apple and the sour apple, and how the sour apple became sour, and then you had the farmer who planted the sweet apple. He only planted sweet apples. So he's trying to figure out how the sour apples first came out, and when he only planted sweet apples. So he would always come and sing songs and speak to the trees as they was young and stuff, seedlings and stuff, sing to them and things like that. And they started to sprout, grow branches and stuff. The birds was like try to nest in their branches and stuff. And the sour apple, the other sweet apple tree, was sour to the birds. He was just not like kept shaking his branches. Don't want the birds to nest in his branches. The sweet apple tree was like, both of them were sweet apples, but one was acting sour. So the other one was like letting the birds nest in his branches and stuff. And then at nighttime, the lumberjack man would come. But you didn't know it was the lumberjack man yet. It was just the man. The man would come at night. I forgot what I named him. But he would come at night and start teaching them how to hate the farmer. Like, oh, that farmer is always this, like saying bad stuff about him at nighttime. And so the sour apple tree would always side with the lumberjack man, but you don't know it's the lumberjack man. You'd always side with him. Like, man, you could be with me, I'll be your friend and stuff like that. And so he's like, I'm gonna be with I'm gonna be with him and stuff. I'm side with him. And the sweet other apple tree, like, don't listen to him. He's not the farmer. He's not the one who planted us. And you're like, forget him. And they'll forget the farmer. And no. So at the end of it all, they grow fruit. And so the farmer comes and says, oh my God, this is not the fruit that I planted. Let me try you first. It's green. So he picks it off. Oh my God, it got worms coming out and stuff. So he takes a bite. Oh, this fruit is sour. He's like, I can't do with this tree. It's like, oh, your fruit is sour. So he tries the other tree and he's like, oh, your fruit is so sweet and stuff like that. Your fruit is sweet. You're good. You have no worms or anything. Your fruit is sweet. So he calls the lumberjack man. The lumberjack man comes. He's, oh, it's my friend. He's like, hey, how you doing, man? Pull off the axe from behind his back and start chopping him down. Pop, pop. Oh man, I thought we was friends. Yeah, you thought we was friends. He turned on him. He's like, I'm the lumberjack man. And he's like, oh, the lumberjack man. I'm like, oh my God. So he chops him down and he's like, no. And he get chopped down and he drags him off and use him for wood for stuff and stuff like that. And, eats his fruits and stuff like that, because this is the produce of what he was giving him. So he took his fruits and eat it and chopped down the tree and start printing money on it and stuff and made a money system. And the other tree was a sweet apple or whatever. And he stayed there. So the farmer plants a new seed right next. He pulls up the stump and everything, plants a new seed right next to that one. And he said, teach him what, the things that can happen to you. And so he teaches the seedling and he starts teaching him, don't be like da-da-da-da. So he learns his lesson. That's the lumberjack man. Like, who he is now. Like, that's the lumberjack man. He chopped down the last tree. And, I'm not going to listen to you. So it was that thing. I'm not going to listen to you. I heard what you did to the last person. Oh, don't believe him. And that, stuff like that. He would never listen to the lumberjack man. So he ended up growing sweet fruit too. So that's how the good fruit, bad fruit ended. You're gonna listen to the farmer or the lumberjack man at the end of it all when it's time to test your fruit. You sweet or sour. And if you're sour, the lumberjack man takes you and use you for firewood and shit like that. So that was a good one. Good fruit, bad fruit. I made it extensive and everything. I was taking creative writing class, so I was learning how to like write novel type stuff. And then I ended up writing As I Witness and The Child. And the reason I still got As I Witness and The Child, that was at the end of my creative writing courses. I still managed to keep those. I was writing those since my creative writing class with Andrea Grimes. I just kept it and kept updating it and stuff. So it looked like it's new, but I just kept updating the copyright stuff at the header and stuff like that. The header and the footer, I kept updating the copyright to whatever year that I might add something to it. But I had it in my flash drive since 2008, but I ended up putting it in my email and just some kind of way kept managing to keep it and stuff. So I was able to transfer it. So Most High wanted me to keep that. So As I Witness and The Rejected Child, as well as The 7 Kinds of Man. So I wrote a short story called The 7 Kinds of Man. And it's about the 7 earths. The 7 earths and the 7 kinds of man. Which is like the 7 colors of the rainbow. I wrote a story about that. 7 kinds of man. And it wasn't just Adam and stuff like that. You just hear about Adam because that's our story, Adam. But the 7 kinds of man was a story too. So I wrote about that. Seven Kinds of Man. As I Witnessed was about all of the things that I've envisioned in my life, but it was more like spiritual stuff. And then the child was about all that I've been through in my life, all of the metaphysical encounters that I've ever experienced in my life. I haven't updated them though. I haven't updated the child yet. I just haven't felt to update it because a lot more stuff I'm still living. I got a lot to add to it. But it's about all of the metaphysical encounters I've ever had. And the reason I started writing that is because I didn't believe people could see what I see in my dreams. So I wanted to write a book. But it turns out that people could see what I see and shit. Like China McClain, the Kardashians, they seeing me and shit. They just don't say that and shit. They still like catty and shit. I don't like that shit. Like, say that shit. So I started writing a book. Because there's many ways you can say shit. Like, people be acting stupid. Like, no, just say that shit. If you see something, say something. You saw tell. You saw it, tell it. Sawtell Boulevard. If you saw it, tell it. I'm right here. Like, that's what I do. I see something, I say something. I'm like, man, it's like you just don't want to be like, man, whatever. Write it in a book then. Make it third person. Make a story about it. Yeah, you had to, you know what I'm saying? Some kind of different way where you saying it directly, because when you don't say it directly, you lose key points and details and shit. Always trying to catch some shit. The details be gone. You be riddling the hell out yourself. Losing details. So if you put it in a story or some kind of way to put the details there, it won't be, somebody will take your shit, make a movie out of it, and the details will be missing. And then the truth will be hidden. So somebody end up lying on you, and then he riding on the Hollywood version of the shit, and it's full of lies, and people start fucking you up from the twisted version of what they did. When you got the real version, put the real version out. You know, that way it saves you from the lies of Hollywood. You need the Holywood. What's the Holywood? You know, the perversion, not the perversion. So that, so much things I wrote, and then I started drawing shit in the Philippines. I was just drawing shit, like, because I ain't had nothing to do, so start drawing. I'm not even a good drawer, but I was just taking my time, like, man, I should look like this, and it's just trying to figure out how to do it. I drew a lot of stuff, man. I drew everything. I drew the Kick Out. I drew in my first comic, The Fair Goodbye, and the field. Okay, it was Twins Before Birth. And Twins Before Birth, I drew in there how me and China know each other. Twins Before Birth. And when we was in the goof, before we even came to Earth, I drew the goof, what it looked like, the clouds, all of that stuff, the music and all that. We sat on a hill above the clouds. And Kylie was there. She looked like a white Sonic. And I drew all of that. Teresa was there too. She's supposed to be our mother, but she pushed China. She pushed China off of the cliff, and I jumped off the cliff to go save her and shit. That was the most traumatic shit ever. I don't want to remember that memory right now, because then I'm gonna go into a seizure. That's how traumatic that was. That was not a dream. That was a memory. I was able to save her. I was able to compress her and save her. I drew that too. I think I got somewhere on my Instagram. I got that somewhere. I can tell you. I jumped off the cliff, and I got the image of me jumping down. You can see up my pants and stuff. Like, you can see my feet in my pants. So it's showing you me jumping down, and then China McClain is like falling. I'm trying to get her. You know, we couldn't move, so I had to calculate my trajectory of the jump, and like how I had to angle. I had to calculate all of that stuff, because once you fall off of that mountain, you don't have power to talk yourself. You like shut off, but you still inside of yourself like a shell. So I was able to had to calculate the trajectory, the lineup, and everything, like on some fantastic shit. Then like had to touch fingers with her and compress her, put her in a compression chamber, and I fell into the birthing pool. And I came down, the sea of simulation, if you will. Came down here. And that's when Kylie was with me, and that's how we ended up being born further down here, off of some accidental shit, or something that Teresa did. She pushed China off the cliff because she was chasing me. We was running in circles, and I was like, you can't catch me, and she's trying to catch me, and we was going extra fast, and then Teresa just pushed her. Teresa Cooper, she pushed off the cliff, pushes her off the edge of the cliff, poof, real hard, like, what the fuck? Skirt, run back, jump off the thing, off the left foot, jump off the cliff, left foot, hip. That's what I said, something like that. Try to get like a good jump, and now you hear a hip, and it's echoed in the whole shit. and then I just like calculated that shit in that one left jump off the left foot, like I was about to dunk on somebody. Jumped up, hip, calculated that shit, looking down, calculated everything, to the fall, to the trajectory, to the pool, to the this, to the that. Calculated my birth, how long I was gonna live, and when I was gonna die, in the comeback, nigga. I calculated all that shit in that one little jump, and then fell down and shit on some like empty mess and shit. Like, damn, he was empty as shit, just fell off the shit like a doll and shit. But I was calculated that whole shit, to the jump, to the fall, to the music. They was fighting through the clouds and all of that shit. I calculated all that shit. Calculated the hits, the lightning strikes. I'm going all that shit. Some fantastic shit. Like, yo, these niggas is fighting and shit on some Transformers mess, fighting and shit, dodging over the people, dodging over this, that, like all that. Calculated them coming over. It was all that. Got hit with the lightning strike. Boom. Hit my shoulder. Start spinning and shit. I needed that spin so I can touch, that spin hit me so I can trajectory over towards China. It pushed me a little bit faster towards her. Then finally hit the spin on right on time. The wind hit all that shit, my nigga. Hit her fingers, compressed that shit. I put that in a comment. I put that in a Twins Before Birth comment. I would like to make a movie out of that. That shit was hard. I mean, it was hard as shit to do, and it was hard to music and all of that shit, my nigga. Every level was music. Like, you go through the clouds, and then once you go through the clouds, you end up at a different level and shit. And there's shit going on, music going on and shit. Then you get through that level and shit, lightning hit your ass, you spin it, then go through the next clouds and shit. It's quiet as shit through the clouds. Comes out the clouds through the next level. There's other music playing and other fantastic fighting and shit going on. And you still falling and shit. They see the children falling and shit. What the fuck going on? Trying to listen all that. Then way on a distance, way out in the distance, you see the mothers of creation coming down hard as shit like a rainbow, my nigga. Them niggas connected and together hard as shit, look like the rainbow coming across and shit. But they coming down on the side trying to beat us to earth before we get there, because we fell out of turn. So they come like on the horizon, you see them coming down off the horizon like fast as shit. And they go to earth before we get there. So before I even fell in the birthing pool, they ended up coming to earth, so that when I get here, I land right and they got me and shit. Because it was like, nah, you can't fall in there. These children and shit. They beat, you see them. And then Kylie, she ran off the edge too when she saw that happen. She jumped right off the cliff, ran down with them and shit. It was crazy, yo, how that shit was happening. The fantasticness of how that shit was happening, yo. Having to dodge and still be alive and calculate all of the shit. Even them fighting and shit, you gotta calculate your running and dodging through them fighting, my nigga. The most fantastic shit you never seen on a movie before, my nigga. That shit was hard. If I had Japan with me, we could do that shit. That shit was hard, my nigga. Then I fell in the birthing pool. I drew that in a car. I drew the most important parts of it, the most hardest parts of the whole shit. Like, I drew it and stuff like that. Because when China got pushed off the cliff before we was born, China McClain, her name was Christina first. She got pushed by Teresa Coupe. I jumped off. We disconnected. I could always feel her. We were tethered. I can feel her, and we can communicate it from the tether. We just stayed in our suits. We were twins. We were never supposed to separate. We was each other. So I jumped off or whatever, and we was disconnected for a long time. And then finally, when I got close enough, we calculated it. We still counting to this day, but I don't wanna go into a trauma mode. We have to count manually, my nigga, because we was disconnected. We was in a count system. Like, that's hard to feel. Let's say it was real complex, but let's say, for example, if I wanted to make it simple, you counting from 1 to 10, right? But you can't say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Your count is like coded. So you're saying 9, 7, 3, 2, 8, this, that, and it's never the same number twice. Never the same number twice next to each other, or it's never a number right next to the next number and shit. Like 7 and 8, it was always something like that. But it was always it's never the same number twice also. So that's how we stayed in count. We went from automatically in count. We didn't have to count to when she got pushed off. We had to manually count and had to remember the sequence of the count. And then once we got back linked together, we was linked back together on the same count. So we never lost count and shit. And then we was able to stay on auto count. That shit was crazy, my nigga. You talking about scariest shit, all of the tears in the world. I even made a rap song about it and shit. I think I got it in my phone still. Um, That shit was hard, my nigga. So that something like never get you back again. Something like that. Back again. I think I called it back again. Scared, something like that. But you get to Earth and a lot of dumb shit happen. You kind of forget all of the fantastic, beautiful stuff that you was connected. You know, all that Jesus stuff kind of shut the whole love off, man. Nigga, like, you never was out of love ever. You start saying Jesus Christ, and I'm like, stop saying Jesus Christ, and then the love shut off because you don't want to listen to shit. You like yourself now. You dick-hearted now. You're a man now and shit, and a woman body and shit. So it went from always doing what I say, always following me to now you doing you and shit. Earth is just like exposed the shit out your heart. So you lose the love and shit. But if the memories come back, you remember and shit like, damn, yo, you never was without each other. Anyway, so that twins before birth. Failed mission. I put a lot of stuff in failed mission as well. And the fair goodbye. On the cover of the fair goodbye is I drew the grass, the blade of grass when it lit up. I drew that. What it looked like when the grass lit up physically. And in the background you see the tree, but they chopped the tree down and shit now. Want to chop the tree down and shit on some disrespectful shit. Are you chopping trees down because the grass lighting up, my nigga? The only witness we had was the tree, so you chopping down witnesses and shit. Chopping down witnesses, installing new trees and shit that there wasn't witnesses. Like, so you trying to have, but the grass is witnesses, my nigga. The grass is witnesses. You know, Aunt Jay had those little bushes she put there. They was still got some witnesses, my nigga. As far as like the environment, the atmosphere, the environment was witnesses, my nigga. You ain't chop those trees up the street and shit. Like them niggas is witnesses. The grass lit up, my nigga. The grass lit up like a light bulb. So I made that the front cover of the fair goodbye. Because I knew God was calling me. And the grass lighting up. I didn't know it's going through a lot of stress, man. I couldn't ever live a regular life when I had a lot of opportunities and chances. Yeah, man. So that's what happened with school, y'all. Just always somebody in my life when I'm living life, right? I'm with my own people. I'm just like everybody else in the pot of crabs. I'm like everybody else in the pot of crabs. Random ass person come from whatever the fucking country he come from, and then just want to make my life a living hell just because he came from no fucking where. Like, yo, we was here we was here for 500 fucking years. All of a sudden, some random ass person want to come when the slavery is not, niggas ain't whipping out backs no more. You don't see people getting hung by nooses and shit no more. Now that the shit died down and shit, ain't no colored water fountains or white water fountains no more. Niggas shit died down. Niggas want to pop up out of nowhere and start trying to make your life a living hell. When they wasn't here and shit, when we went through all of the dumb shit, you ain't see no Indians or nobody from Africa or nobody from Asia walking around marching with Martin Luther King Jr. or with Malcolm X and them and shit. You didn't see that shit. Martin Luther King, where was y'all at with the Million Man March? I had a dream and shit. You ain't see nobody from India, no Quickie Mart people or nothing, nigga. Nobody out here feeling kinds of ways that you on food stamps and shit. Nobody feeling nothing about you on social media or nothing, my nigga. When niggas was here slaved out and shit, marching around the whole fucking streets of the cities of Georgia and shit like that, marching all over the fucking place, niggas hitting you with water, what is it, fire hydrant water hose and shit. That's free water. Hitting you with free water, my nigga. Just get a bottle, my nigga. Fire hydrant used to open up the fire hydrants all the time, my nigga. You don't even see fire hydrants no more, my nigga. If it's a fire somewhere, that shit is dead. You ain't gonna see no fire hydrants or nothing. You ain't gonna be able to water nothing down. Niggas used to have fire hydrants in their hoods. Crack the fire hydrant open when it's hot as shit outside. Free water, my nigga. Ain't nobody give a fuck about the water gushing out the fire hydrant. Now niggas can't get a cup. You know, it's just water. It's a bottle of water, man. Nigga used to cut the fire hydrants on for nothing. It wasn't nobody here but black people, yo. Anybody, can you name a time that we opened the fire hydrants? No, nigga, you wasn't here. Shit was like crazy. We did that shit. We built that shit. It was free water, nigga. Free water. Water just runs, my nigga. Let that water run and go and evaporate. We get some more rain and shit. That shit come back. You let the water flow, the water come back. If you distill the waters and shit like that, still the waters, and if you distill like that, don't flow, then you don't get rain and shit. The water has to flow in order for the rain to come. And then when the rain comes, you get your crops and shit grow and you get food and shit. But when you sit the water still, when you start charging people for water, the water don't flow because it's a recycling system. You gotta pee. You pee and then you drink water. If you don't let the earth pee and get the water out and flow the water and people don't start drinking shit, then people don't start peeing and shit. And if people don't start peeing, that rain don't come. And when you let the water flow freely, the water comes back. Otherwise, it's selective and shit. It rain in certain places and shit like that. And certain places don't get rain. That's how it be. People be stupid as shit. Just feeling some kind of way you getting free water when, dummy, the whole system supposed to be free. Your dumbasses just want control over every fucking thing. So when you stop up the water and shit like that, water don't come, rain don't come and shit. So where you getting your food from? Factory made food and shit. Niggas on some demon shit, eat demon shit. And they want you to have some demon shit too, because they stupid as shit, yo. Anyway. So you had more rain back in the day. The rain was more sweet, my nigga. Like when it rained back in the day in the 80s and 90s, when I was 3 years old, that rain was sweet, my nigga. I'll go right to the front. I lived on Gold Street. We lived on Gold Street, North and Gold Street or something like that. I don't know. It was Gold Street. I just know it was called Gold Street. So we lived on Gold Street. I used to sit in the doorway when it rained. I was 3 years old. 3 years old, sitting in the doorway, and when that rain come down, I love the drizzles of the rain hitting my face and the breeze coming through. It's when it's a hot day because we didn't have air conditioning and shit. So we just had a fan. So grandma would just put the fan in the window, and then when it was too hot, she'd turn the fan around and try to ventilate the room, get the hot air out, get the humidity out. Because it's better to get the humidity out than to put humidity in bring humidity in the house. So she'd turn the fan around. But if it's cool outside and breezing, no humidity like that, or just rain and shit, she'd cut that fan right on, hit that air right in the house, cut it on high too, get it cool in the house. We didn't have air conditioning. It was hot as shit outside. We didn't have showers either. We didn't have a shower. You had to take a bath every time. You know what I'm saying? The loose ass little faucet, loose as shit. Don't hit the faucet, shit just a gush everywhere. You loose as shit, you don't screw it on or nothing. This shit just got put it on there. So yeah, all that, man. It was easy to make bubbles with those faucets because you could put your finger over the hole, make bubbles and shit. It's easy. But yeah, you just take baths and shit. No showers, fans, no air conditioning. Grandma Gloria, she was more like rich. You go over her house, she got an air conditioner in the window, cut it on, but then you gotta cut it off because then the back freeze up and turn into ice and shit. So you gotta cut it off for a while, and then when the ice off of it, then you can cut it back on. Like it still was cool though in there. And she had a shower. We got showers in here. Showers in this one. A rare potty trained me. I didn't have my mother. My mother left me. She abandoned me. So I got potty trained by my aunt. A rare. My aunt is 3 years older than me. I got potty trained I forgot when I got potty trained. But a rare, however old, whenever she would use the bathroom, she would walk around with Pampers on too sometimes. I think I think she just got out of Pampers. And she used to wear, she was potty trained. So she would go run to the bathroom when she had to use the bathroom. But I was always her shadow. I would run behind her everywhere she go, I would go. She runs to the bathroom. I'm climbing up the bathroom. I'm climbing up the steps and shit. Like a jungle gym. That shit was scary. You climb up the steps, don't look back and shit, because you scared as shit to look back when you're young. 3 years old, climb up the steps, she wait for me and stuff. Then she'll go in the bathroom, I'll be right behind her, and then I run to the bathroom, and I sit on the little potty and shit. I had the little potty. So you gotta poop in the potty. So she potty trained me. So when she went to the bathroom, I went to the bathroom. You gotta poop. I poop, and I would poop go in the thing. She's like, yeah. And she'd dump it herself, dump it and leave it there. Grandma come rinse it out, but she'd dump it in the toilet. And she taught me how to use it, but she tried to wipe my butt and all that stuff. She didn't know what she was doing. Trying to take care of me and shit. Let's imagine that you 5 years old and you got an 8-year-old trying to wipe your butt and shit. You 3 years old trying to. It's crazy, yo. Potty trained me by my aunt and shit. She gets it's an old picture somewhere, Rhea, an old picture where me and Rhea, she got me, she trying to hold me, but she too small to really hold me and shit, but she trying to hold me and shit. And I got on Pampers and shit. We at 3132 Oakford Avenue. See us in the Polaroid picture somewhere. But yeah, man. Those are the days, man. But yeah, that just really was talking about the schooling. I talked about Marion Fitzpatrick. She kicked me out because I stopped paying part of her rent because I'm saving money because I said I gotta go to the Philippines. I was just here to teach you a little bit of Hebrew, teach you some stuff, and then I gotta go to the Philippines to the school, and then I'll be back. I was normal. I was calm as shit about it. I was regular as shit about it. Then she got mad because I stuck to my plan and shit. That's all it was. She was mad that I stuck to my plan. She from Lancaster, California. She mad as shit. I stuck to my plan. Like, girl, I only came here to stop by to talk to you before I went to the Philippines to go to school. Or I would even stayed in Baltimore. I wouldn't even came here to see you and shit. I would have stayed in the fucking Baltimore and went to school. You wouldn't even have seen me and shit. I just said I'll stop by on my way to go to the Philippines. Why you think I'm gonna make a new plan? I said I'll come back and shit, and then I'll come back to you. The whole plan was to go graduate from the school. Once I graduate, then come back to you. And that was another reason why I married the girl that they wanted me to marry, is because me and Miriam we broke up because she kicked me out. If she'd have left that shit alone and let me go to the Philippines like I planned, I'd have came right back to her and shit. I would have told the rabbi, no, I got a wife already. I'm already married. I got a concubine already. I would have been able to say I got a concubine already. But she kicked me out the fucking house and shit. I would have came right back on I'm gonna do some cable shit. I'll do some Spectrum or some shit like that and we good. There been some shit like that. I was going to school too. Out there had a community college out there in Lancaster or whatever. Had a community college out there. I tried to enroll in them community college. But she was mad at that too. Like, you mad that I'm enrolling in school? And what the fuck is you? Are you just mad about every fucking thing? Girl, you just smoking weed all the fucking time. Smoking weed, sitting there all the fucking time. Stop smoking and shit. You too old for that smoking and shit. Sitting there watching Twilight Zone and shit. Watching Into the Dragon, The Last Dragon, Bruce Leroy. She's sitting there watching oldies but goodies and shit. Sitting there watching oldies but goodies in the bed with her and shit. Watching Queen Latifah on a talk show one time, and she feel like she looking like Queen Latifah talking to her through the camera and shit. You know, sometimes you like young people and shit, and you just like, and she feeling convicted, and she walking and go smoking and shit like that, sit in her little rocking chair and shit, like she want to fight Queen Latifah or some shit. She's mad about everything. Yeah, you had to pay for water out there, but I'm like, yo, I'm not thinking at the time, but I'm more like, I don't even know if it was a Walmart out at the time, but whatever the case, we can go to one of these stores and get a Brita or something, get a pitcher of water with a water filter in it. And she's vegan. She don't eat meat. So I'm like, it's fine. As you cook the vegan meals. I don't know how to cook no vegan meals or whatever. You know? So she more vegan and shit. So she be all strict about it. I still like her vegan meals. They be good. They don't be over seasoned or under seasoned. They be perfect. She be cooking up plantains and shit, but she be frying them up, squash and shit. I be like, this shit tastes good as shit. Squash and this and that, putting it all together. It tastes good, girl. With some rice. Or she put not rice, but something else. Like, it's good. But I didn't have stamps or nothing. I was on SSI, but I didn't know wasn't on food stamps though. I could have applied for food stamps. I could have, because I was on SSI. I could have applied for food stamps too. There could have been more food in the house and shit like that. You know, but water, you gotta go to the water store and shit. Like, just get a water filter and shit. Just get a big ass Brita pitcher, like I did in Walnut, California. When I came back to California, I went to Walnut. My first time in California was Lancaster. That was a long time ago before I went to the Philippines in 2013, 2014. Then I came back, and then when I came back, I went to Walnut, California. And it was in an Airbnb. It was a Korean family. Stayed there. I bought a big ass bag of rice before I left. And I brought a big ass Brita pitcher, man. Nigga, it was a big ass Brita water pitcher in there, and I bought like 2 filters. I'm like, you talking about you got to bring your own water? Like, you got to buy your own water. I'm like, oh, why be drinking bottled waters for? Like, just get a pitcher and shit. Just put that shit up in a like, cut the water faucet on, put it in the Brita shit, put that in the fridge. It's a Brita's filtered and shit. How you gonna trust the bottled water, not trust the Brita filter? It's the same shit for real. Does it make you think it's filled with different or something? Like it came from a per place or some shit. Probably come from the same place and shit, down the street or some shit. You don't know. So I just put that in there, put 2 extra filters, and I would cook rice. Naomi was the girl that was like there with me too. I stayed there for a whole month applying for the Spectrum job, but the apprenticeship program didn't start yet. So I'm in that Airbnb for a whole month. The apprenticeship program didn't start. Like, they wanted me to feel what homelessness was like. My nigga, you don't even know me. You don't know I've been homeless already or some shit. I already suffered before and shit. Fuck, y'all keep trying to make a nigga learn a lesson that he already fucking learned before. How the fuck? It's like I'm taking the same fucking class over and over and over again. Even though I aced the shit, you keep on making me take the class, but people don't know I took this class already. Like, oh, like on my transcript, my credits on my transcript is not accepted in this college and shit. So you gotta take our college course where your credits are accepted and shit. That's how they was acting like, oh, we don't accept your credits at this school or some shit. Like, bitch, I've been homeless 1,000 times. Well, they ain't nothing new about homelessness. My nigga, try being homeless when it's freezing ass cold outside. It don't be cold as shit outside in California like it be in other places like Allentown, Pennsylvania. Cold as shit outside, snow outside, my nigga, below freezing. Niggas, you gonna die freezing out that bitch. Die outside, my nigga, you gonna die out that bitch. It's like, yo, it's like homeless out that bitch. Try to live under a bridge and shit like that. All kind of shit like that. Homeless as shit. All the time, yo. Trying to find God and shit. But trying to balance out the two, finding a creator and still trying to finish school. But my school mad as shit because I keep walking away thinking that it's not, whatever I'm going for is not important as finishing school. But at the same time, if they would have let me graduate and got my associate's degree, I would have been still in school. They just held me back and shit. So then I start moving all around the place and shit, holding me back and shit. So, it's crazy, yo. This is so much to say. I did like 3-4 hour video, yo. This shit's crazy. Yeah, man. It's just, I'm gonna end it with this. It's just too much about my life. I'm 40 years too much about my life. I put in one video. So I had a future, yo. I had a full scholarship to Frostburg University. Didn't work. Nobody helped me. Went to the military. Got pushed out. Went back to school. Well, I started with community college first because I didn't get my acceptance papers at Frostburg. So nobody helped me. I tried to go to Baltimore City Community College, but didn't know how to apply for FAFSA. So they said, well, try again next year. So I went to the military. Didn't want to try again. I didn't know what to do. Went to the military. They pushed me out. Didn't get my Montgomery GI Bill because I didn't do my 4 years. You got to do 4 years and shit. So, or more than a year. Something like that. I had to do 4 years or something like that to get the Montgomery GI Bill. They pushed me up before 4 years, so I don't get the GI Bill. So I can't take the GI Bill and go to Frostburg University or finish school. So now I had to apply for FAFSA. So I go to Baltimore City Community College, apply for FAFSA, the grant. I'm okay, the grant will work. I can just transfer. Like, yeah, you can transfer with that. Because once you get in with good grades in another school, they give you more FAFSA, more financial aid. All right, it was helping me out. Miss Coatley was helping me out. So I started working on it. But they kept holding me back. Sadiq Nur kept holding me back and shit, not letting me graduate. Take that one ass class, Microsoft Excel, kept holding that class for me, so I couldn't graduate. So I ended up, leaving, going to the Philippines and shit like that. Come back. No, I didn't go to the Philippines. I walked away. Came back. Went around went to Wilmington, California, and all that. Went to Wilmington, North Carolina, and all that. Wilmington, North Carolina, went all around the place a little bit to learn about the Most High. Came back. Took up ECE, early child education. Went back to the same place I was at. Took that up. Whatever. Then I went, okay, well, I can go to do the yeshiva school and shit. I think that's important. So I'm going to do the yeshiva school. Went to the Philippines. Stopped in Lancaster. Marion Fitzpatrick. Married her. She was my concubine, but she was the only one I was with. Like the story in Judges and shit. It's this Cohen, he married a woman. He made a woman his concubine, but that was the only woman he was with. She was just his concubine because she wasn't a virgin. So I was the same way with Marion Fitzpatrick. I said, yeah, I just concubine you. You're still my woman though and shit. But she pushed me out the house because I wasn't paying the $300 no more. So I need to save money so I could go get to the Philippines and shit. So so I can finish the school. That's my original plan. So it's best I finish my original plan, then I come back to you. I don't want to alter my plan because then something could fuck up. Try to alter your plan and change your plan. I'm tired of altering my plans and people coming into my life making me change my plans and shit like that. So with that, I stuck with my plan, and she got mad that I stuck with my plan and kicked me out of her house. She just fighting on me, punching on me and shit. I'm like, fuck is you doing? She mad. Like, you want to go see a bitch? I'm like, who the fuck is you talking about? She got jealous as quick. Like yo, I don't know nobody. I don't have you the last person I had. Like she was mad as shit. Like yo, girl, you don't call. It's because she's older. She's 53. I'm 28. So she feeling like I'm going, like she feeling that and shit. Like, why are you feeling everything but what I'm saying? Like, before I even met you, before I even talked to you online or anything, I told you I'm going to the yeshiva school. That's the only way. Why is a bitch so important that I'm going to go all the way and travel the fucking, across the whole fucking planet to see a fucking girl and shit? Fuck out of here. Like, they don't got niggas over there and shit like that she fucking already. I'm not doing that dumbass shit. It's really, I'm going to go find what it is that the Most High need for me and shit. So I'm going to do that and then come back to school. But then because I was with Marion, I said, you know what? No, what I'll do is I'll go and then come back and I'll go to the community college in Lancaster and then transfer my credits from Baltimore City Community College and continue to take ECE here and stay with you and shit. And continue helping you with the rent and the bills and shit like that. I didn't have no problem paying the $300. I had no problem with that. I was still on SSI. I was good. I was gonna stay on SSI. Then got to apply for food stamps and stuff. You got both of your sons here. I'm just in a room with you. One of your sons older than me. Your other son's 16 and shit. He got his room and shit. And then you got daughters and shit. So it's like, all right, yeah, it's like, damn, I'm like the stepfather and shit, but I'm like this young ass stepfather and shit. They the same age as your daughters. Your son is older than me. That shit looking funny and shit. So it's like, yeah, it's sour tastes and shit. So it's like, it was, already wasn't working out. People from her past popping up feeling some kind of way. Why you with this young ass guy and shit? All kind of shit like that. And I met these two Hebrew Israelite brothers and shit. They was poor shit. They was huddled up in the house together, but the house was dirty as shit. I'm like, my nigga, I don't care if I'm homeless or not. My homeless ass spot gonna be neat and organized, my nigga. I'm not gonna be no dirty ass bum and shit. I'm not gonna be no dirty bum homeless or not. I'm not doing that. Y'all niggas just got trash all over the place. Like, there's one woman in there with her head covering on, dirty ass place and shit. I'm like, y'all niggas dirty as shit. So maybe, I don't know, Miriam thought that. I think I seen somebody that was like a sub for Raven Simone and shit. I'm walking to the Taco Bell and shit. Get off the bus. Girl looked like Raven Simone. Like, I thought it was Raven Simone and shit. Like, oh damn, I forgot this is California and shit. Catching bus. I used to sit on the bus stop all the time. She kicked me out. Used to be sleeping on the bus stop. And I used to just go to this park and shit around the corner somewhere by the fire station, sleep at the park. Her son used to come to the park and shit to see where I was at. I was charging my phone at the park and shit. They had like a little outlet there. Oh shit, they got an outlet? Charge my phone there. Then they cut the outlet off and shit. Oh, you getting free power and shit. I'm like, man. So then I would just sleep. I didn't think about the library situation yet, so I would just sleep in the park. Sleep in the park. And they had like a piece of like a top or whatever it was. It was like advertisement for the military, and it had fell off the pole, or somebody knocked it down off the pole, and I was cold as shit, so I would sleep under the playground, under the sliding board of the playground. It was a little baby sliding board. I would sleep under the baby sliding board in the mulch, and if there's a lot of mulch piled together, it's warm as shit in that mulch. So I piled up the mulch and shit, got the little thing and wrapped it around the pole because it was windy as shit, so the wind was crazy. So I tried to cover myself. I'd stick my feet in my little bag and shit, trying to keep my feet. I was doing anything. Finally, it comes. I save up the money I need to save up for the plane ticket, and then caught the plane and left and shit. She was bitching about 1 month of me saving money. I gotta go to the Philippines because that was the whole reason I came here. You want me to change my whole fucking life for a woman that got children already? Brand new ass. Like, what the fuck? You got a whole life already, yo? Children and shit. You 53, I'm 28. You want to be like acting like you a virgin or some shit. I'm supposed to just drop everything. I said, I'm adding you into my life because we like talking and stuff. I like you. I love you and stuff like that. I'm saying, like, whatever. I really love this shit. She's acting all different and shit. All of a sudden. Because she's an old woman. That's the oldest one I've ever been with. 53-year-old woman. I was 28. I'm 40 years old now. So imagine how old she is now. So, but still, it's the same thing. Use my concubine. I already factored that in and shit. You want to be old as shit, 60, 70 years old. I'm going to be like 40 years old. I'm still going to be banging that pussy. I'll give it here and shit. You my wife and shit. Give a fuck. That's how I was looking. I was like, not tripping. I said, when it's an older person and you really connect with an older person, it don't matter about how old you is. You become more possessive and shit. Like that pussy mine. I still be having mixed emotions a little bit sometimes about Miriam Fitzpatrick. And I be having mixed emotions sometimes. Like I be a little bit possessive, but I be calming down and shit. I'm like, man, let me calm down because I be getting possessive. Because if I open myself up, I'm gonna be very possessive and be like wanting to walk up on her like, bitch, where the fuck is you at? And shit, like, that's my pussy and shit. I be wanting to be like that. Or if I see her out of nowhere and shit, I'm gonna want to grab her ass up and take her somewhere and just start having sex with her and shit. Like, don't ever tell me not to bust a nut in your mouth again and then bust a nut in her mouth and shit. Just cause she my concubine and shit. She my wife and shit. It's like that with younger people. I'm sorry, man. Younger people and older people, like the younger men want that. It's like I don't know why, yo. It's like you want to own you and shit. Like your pussy mine. It's like that. I don't know, yo. But it was marriage though. It was concubine marriage. With so I guess that's how it would be with younger girls and older men too. Like, they be possessive over older men and shit. But Miriam, I was possessive over her and stuff like that. It's just that she was there, you know. Like, where the fuck you going at? I'm like, I ain't going nowhere. I'm like, all right, fuck. And then I go back to doing what I'm doing. Like, I dropped everything, lost my mind and all that shit because I felt like she was going some fucking way without my permission and shit. So it's like that, yo. Like I'm beating that pussy up now and shit. Whoever the fuck, I don't give a fuck if it's an old man or not. It's mine now. 53, I'm 20. I don't give a fuck about that 53. You mine? Fuck. Cuddle her hard and shit. Like grab her ass, cuddle her fuck up. Like fuck is you doing that? That's how I was possessive, yo. But I still had to finish my plan. I gotta go to the Philippines. I'll be right back and shit. Finish the school course and then come back. Then that would have been also a good excuse. I could have told them. I said, yeah, I'm married. I got a concubine already. So now I graduate. I could just, I have my wife already. Go back to my wife. I got that under my belt, and then I can go back to her. Then I can just finish what I was doing with school and stuff like that and stuff, and then or just even get it, whatever we plan on doing after that. We're a family now, you know. And I'm a stepfather and shit. I'm a stepfather to her children. It's funny as shit because I'm younger than them, but still, stepfather is what it is. So it's like calling me daddy and shit. That's my father and shit. Yeah, my father. I'm 36 years old. My father 28 and shit. My stepfather 28. That shit's stupid as shit. But he was mad as shit. He was like, stop hitting my mother. He was mad as shit after a while because I kept on having sex with her and the bed kept squeaking and shit. So I was like, you right. But at the same time, I was not caring. Like, I don't give a fuck. But my battery died. I need to stop anyway. But yeah, man. I'm saying too much stuff, but the whole point of this video was just the school stuff. Why I didn't finish school. I had people always interjecting into my life and stopping me. So Sadiq Nir wouldn't help me with the Microsoft Excel course. That's why I didn't finish Baltimore City Community College. And I just backed out. I felt like I'd just come back later, but my eyes got low and things started happening, so I never came back I never been able to really finish. With Fortis College, I didn't finish that either. In Utah, I didn't finish that because a guy pulled the gun out on me. Pulled the gun out on me on the job, so I just left the whole shit because I felt like everybody was against me. Like, who the fuck go to work and a guy pull a gun out on you for going to work on time? So I just left the whole school. I felt like somebody set me up at the school and all that shit because they gave me the job. The school gave me the job, so I felt like somebody at the school set me up. So I just dropped the whole shit. I don't trust no fucking body. Fuck all y'all. I'll go somewhere else. So I was just scared of shit. So I didn't go to the school no more. But I applied for a grant there too. But normally with the grant, the money goes back to the federal government. But they must have pocketed that money and wrote it off as a loan and make it look like a loan and some shit, like I owed them or something. I'd never owed FAFSA. So now I can't apply for FAFSA because they made it look like I got a loan and shit. It's just people keep fucking me up, yo, so it make it look like I'm playing around and shit. I'm not playing around, just people in my way because I should have been graduated. I should have been in Frostburg by myself with nobody to basically get in my way, nobody to intervene into my life. Anyway, that's my little school story, yo. I gotta put these little edits together. I gotta put these edits together, yo. I had locks at one point. The pandemic came, I couldn't get them done, so I had to end up doing something. I put them in a ponytail and just became one whole lock and shit. But I couldn't fit a hard hat at the while. But I was still good at this time. Fresh ass Lux tee. I got on some Lux tee. Lux tees only. Like if I want to get a real tee, I would get a Lux tee. If I'm really trying to wear a white tee outside with nothing on, over top of it, I would get a Lux tee because they fit perfectly. Yeah, so anyway, off that, with that said, I'm gonna let it go, y'all. Shalom.